Hello and welcome to Hobby Night Live!
Back again?
This is it, we're back again. We're back again. Thank you for joining us. In fact, thank you to everybody coming from France, from USA. Jim is even joining us just at the tip of a hurricane. So, welcome, Oriskany. Yep. We have people from South Korea, we have folks from Denmark, we have people from Peru, and Gloucestershire.
Okay, you're sure there's no more there? Are you sure there's no more there?
Yes, I'm sure there's no more there. Okay, we've been rubbing Justin's head to make sure that all of the equipment works properly tonight.
After my last little faux pas.
Right. Let me introduce you to everybody and see what everybody's working on. We've got Lloyd on the camera. Hey, Lloyd. So we'll come to him in a second. But first off, we'll start with Justin. Justin, where are you sitting tonight?
I'm going to be right here. I'm going to be working on my Blacksmith's Guild for Guild Ball. So basically, these are the guys I picked up at Gen Con. I've been dying to work on them, but I wanted to save them for a Hobby Night Live for everybody. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not trying for the full team. I'll maybe get 2 of them done at best.
Fantastic. Right, come on around here. We have the mighty Az. Az, what are you working on tonight, mate?
Tonight is more Blood Rage. I'm being a little bit of a Jesse at the moment. I'm starting off small, but we did the Troll last Hobby Night Live. We're now starting off small with some Viking ships, and that's to build me up and get my confidence going for the big sea serpent. So a bit of practice first, and then hopefully going to try something a bit more challenging.
Fantastic. Yeah. Right, let's moving on round. Okay, just careful. We don't want to trip over anything. We have the incredible Lance. Now, Lance, we know that you're controlling the show, but while you're not controlling the show, what you hobbying on?
First off, thank you very much for introducing me. I'm working on the Volsung miniatures that I've been painting on my own stream over the past few weeks in preparation for next week's bootcamp. So if anyone wants to play any different characters, I've been preparing them all for you.
Isn't he just a wee dote? Okay, here we have John.
Hello.
We're hoping that John has calmed down. We've got an interesting story to tell you later on. Are you feeling good, John?
Better than I was. Yep, better than I was.
Okay, John, what are you working on tonight?
I'm working on the beautiful Vicky, or the Victor Colossal for Kador from War Machine.
There we go.
I've called it Vicky.
Action shot right there.
The action shot. Yeah.
Tonight, Scylla, I'm going to be working on Viking ships tonight. So I'm going to actually build my Viking ships. I got a real case of the hobby horn, but I'll talk more about that tomorrow and Sunday on Backstage. But I got a real case of the hobby horn, so I'm on Viking ships, baby, tonight. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm just, yeah. Let's go through and talk to Ben very briefly.
We could ask me what I'm working on.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let me take this. Okay. Whoa, everybody.
Yes.
Okay, there's Lloydie.
Oh.
Okay. Lloydie, what are you working on tonight?
I'm working on wires tonight. Look at that, it's a little wire. I'm actually going to make a creepy tree. We've made other trees in Hobby Labs and stuff like that, where we've had like brushes and things like that, but I've never made a creepy tree.
I personally think you're mispronouncing Christmas, because that's gold, red, and green. I think this is going like a Christmas tree for the end of it.
Like a willow tree.
We'll see.
You know, like a undead sort of creepy tree thing, which I've never made before, so I have no idea how it's going to turn out. I don't even know if this is the way to do it, but I'm going to have a go at it.
Okay, right. Ben is working away in there. So all we have to do is just go and get a wave from the mighty Ben. Mighty Ben, can we get a wave, please, mate? There we are. There's a wave from the mighty Ben. That is Sexy Furious himself. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. I love you, Ben. I'm getting really fired up for Hobby Night Live now. Okay, right. Let's do a cut to our main cam, and let's get some hobbying on the go. So, right to the chat. Now, can I just say, gentle folk watching, we know that the audio on Hobby Night Live is probably what we would call less than optimum. It boils down to the equipment that we've got for it is just not very good. So we are in the process of researching what audio setup would work best for us, and then we're going to do our best to try and see if we can get it put in place. So Oh, we think that the audio is just a little bit high tonight. Okay. So, do we need to turn the audio down just a touch, or do I just need to stop shouting?
Well, this is me comparing to Warren, so just a little audio test for everybody at home. Compared to Warren, how do I sound, or is it just Warren's a little too
A
loud?
little voice in my head says it's probably going to be shout less.
Okay.
Or move the mic away from your mouth.
Okay. Well, thank you for the tip on the audio. I will maybe shout just a little bit less till we see. Okay. So, stop moving, and the audio is good. Okay.
Hold very, very still.
Everyone freeze.
So, people in the chat, what are you working on this evening? Let us know in the chat.
Yeah, let us know in the chat what you're working on, and remember, if you want to join in, the main chat room for Hobby Night Live takes place on twitch.tv/Beasts of War, or you can come to beastsofwar.com and join in the same chat room there. So if you want to get stuck into that, do come across. Also, we'd love you guys to share what you're working on at home, because you could win Army Painter voucher, and you could possibly win a Hobby God bag.
Do you want me to grab one?
But to do that, all you have to do is come to bit.ly/Hobby Night Live. Okay, so Manda Pie is working on reading the latest issue of White Dwarf. We have somebody working on Shadows of Brimstone Wave 2. We have Sisters of Silence and Custodes. And we have Jezebel for the Volsung Boot Camp.
Look at this one, Lordy. 80 converted Warhammer skeletons converted to look like undead Bretonnians.
Oh,
right up your
cool.
street.
80 skeletons. Holy sh!
80 converted skeletons.
And we have Bolt Action 8th being worked on.
Wait, Bolt Action 8th Army?
Yep.
Yep.
Wow, Nomad, that's dedication right there.
Modern SAS. My God, Morats. You guys are working on so much stuff. Please do take a chance to go across to bit.ly/Hobby Night Live and upload your stuff there, because we want to see it. We want to talk about it every quarter to the hour, and we talk about what you guys are working on. And yeah, one of you could be winning a Hobby God bag. And trust me, you want to win a Hobby God bag.
I have been defending them relentlessly these days with people asking, can I get one, can I get one?
I have just had one of those brilliant hobby moments.
What have you done?
When you open a Viking box to find that it's not actually the model kit, it's all the spare sprues from all the ones you've already built. Flipping awesome.
Yeah.
So, Jono, do you wanna fill us in on your tale of woe?
It's really not that long a tale, to be honest. So
It's an epic saga!
so Sweet Vicky here, good old Sweet Vicky, wasn't looking the best. So the first time I'd painted it, I just sprayed it in Halford's grey primer, just a regular old grey primer, and then I airbrushed in the red, which in this case is Army Painter Dragon Red. But I'd painted it in places where I thought, maybe I want the red to be in more places than what I'd put it. So I thought this evening before we started, do you know what? I have a can of Dragon Red spray. I'll go out and give it a little spray. So I held it upside down like that on the way out, because it was a little bit mizzly. It was raining a little touch. And as I walked out, I tripped on a brick. The shutter of my arm broke the super glue bond on the base to the model. The model fell head first onto the concrete. Both arms and a leg fell off. John in his typical what do we call my temper? Johnness.
Fury.
Fury.
John's fury.
John's fury. I went yellow with rage and came storming back in, and said Colossal found its way halfway across the room.
And it's still standing here.
And it's
now,
still standing,
ready
yep.
to be painted.
So Vicky got a bit of TLC and then got the coat of paint that I actually wanted to put on it. So now she's here getting painted properly. And that is my little tale of woe.
Oh.
It happens to the best of us.
So I think I'm doing quite well.
Okay, Lloydie, what do you got?
So I've taken this.
Can we cut to Hobbycam 1?
I've taken the wire. Then this is wire that you brought in, John, originally, wasn't it?
Yeah, I stole it from a florist.
So this is florist wire for tying up flowers and bunches and all that sort of stuff.
But
hence all the lovely colours. It's not for making Christmas trees.
I'm yet to be proven wrong.
So
Okay, that's
I'm trying to make creepy type trees as. So I don't know. Can you
Okay.
guys see that on the screen?
Yeah, bring
Yeah,
it up a
yeah,
wee
bring
bit.
it up a
like,
little tad.
Up.
Up.
On the screen, yeah.
I don't know. I'll
Yeah,
just put
yeah,
the whole thing in. See those sort of creepy looking trees here? Someone on Facebook put up a picture like a couple of days ago in like a Kings of War page, and he had all these creepy trees he'd made to fill in his base, and I thought, do you know what? I haven't had a go at creepy trees yet. I'm definitely going to give this a whirl.
Okay.
So I've been thinking for a while that probably the way to do this is to twist wire around, because you know, if you find a creepy tree out there in the wild,
Which is where trees normally are.
yeah, we just cut away from this for a bit.
In a
Back
shrubbery.
back to our main cam.
There you are.
Oh, we are. Yeah. Right. So out in the wild, when you're looking around and you're looking at trees and they get them all branches are all twisted and around each other and they go all weird shapes, I thought twisting some wire around is going to be the best starting point. Now this has maybe been done. I just haven't done the research.
And I've just realized you've gone for 3 different thicknesses here to work your way, I assume, along the...
Yeah, I have essentially 2, because this is just this twisted. Okay, so it starts off as 1 wire, which I've then cut a section
Gotcha.
off, and then I start
How
twisting
thick is
it.
your wire, Lloyd?
It's pretty. I don't know. It's at least 5 mil thick.
Okay, yep.
It's a lot longer than it is thick, like, because when it's longer like that, you can twist it into a lot more shapes.
Yes.
I don't want it to be too thick, otherwise it gets too hard to handle.
Yes.
And I'm guessing because you're trying to do a scary tree, you're quite happy to have it twisted instead of just, straight.
Well, you don't want, if your wire's going straight up,
Yeah.
right? It's not going to look very realistic.
No.
The
you
more
want
it
a bend in
bends,
Yeah. You want basically a bend and a twist in it. Yeah.
yeah,
Alright.
because I'm going to
Yeah.
put clump foliage on the top, right? So, oh, that's a good question.
Should
Clumping.
you have a scary tree with clump foliage, or should it just be, bare?
Look,
No,
because
no, never a bare tree. You always want at least a little bit of foliage on it somewhere. So
yeah, because if it's bent, I can get the bushy stuff on to stick
Hey.
yes.
to the top better.
Mhm.
Whereas if it's going straight up, I only have like, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, I only have one little tiny bit to try and stick it onto.
Yes.
So you can get a better contact.
Can we get
Yeah.
into Hobby Cam 1 to get a closer look at his wire?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
anyway, there's my armature basically, and in its all its glory. And I've built this base out of, I don't know if you guys seen the Saga bases I made real quick for Kings of War using my Saga army on Kings of War. It's the same material. I just cut it out with a Stanley knife. Then I sort of carved the sides, took it in with a file to file it down, because I don't want a round base on this. Gonna maybe put some stones and things on that. But anyway, you can see it's on here. I'm thinking now, obviously if I spray that, it's just going to look like a load of wires.
yeah.
So I'm thinking I may need to cover it. I may need to put something around the wire.
Papier-mâché style almost.
Yeah,
kinda.
so I was thinking, I did something like this on a palm tree, where I just took masking tape,
This is another attack.
and
No,
I
this
just
is-
stick
okay,
it over there, right? And then you can see the wire sort of shape through it.
Yeah.
But if I do it in lots of little bits, okay, it builds up a texture.
And looks like broken bark that's
Yes.
chipping and cracking as it twists and gnarls.
Perfect. Yeah, so not only do you get
And, yeah,
the twistiness under it, but like you say, you'll get little bits of this. Like,
sticking out. You're not going to be too precious. You're just
no,
gonna-
not going to be too precious. And if it peels, then it looks a bit like bits of bark peeling and stuff. Anyway, that's the rough idea. And then I have some green stuff.
Now, what's the masking tape going to be like once you paint it? Are you going to do something to coat it first to make it hard?
No, I'm just gonna paint it. I could soak it in PVA.
Now you're getting right into art attack style.
And then that would soak into it and leave it overnight to harden up. But I think I'm just gonna I'm gonna paint it. If I want to do something, if I want to make the whole thing really hard, really quick.
Does
I
it
could-
matter if your wire's hardened?
No,
Well-
we're talking about the coating on
We're
it.
talking more about the rate of hardening. You don't want to be hard too long. You want to get just hard quick and be done with it.
Right.
See, here's the thing. If you spray the paint on that, the paint will absorb in, and that'll make the whole thing a lot more rigid, so you don't even need to PVA it.
Well, I was thinking maybe I should be putting some super glue in amongst the wire. That
Maybe
way,
a few key points.
that way it does keep it hard. And
The
it's-
white sticky stuff will keep it all.
because
rigid.
over time, I'm
Yeah.
thinking if people play with it, it'll go droopy.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
they'll
Yeah, well,
knock.
if they play with it
Wow.
too much, I mean, a little
Yeah.
playing will keep you hard, but a lot of play will it'll fall
Well,
apart.
it'll ruin it.
Yeah, it'll ruin it.
absolutely ruin it.
Anyway, and then I'm going to stick that on the base, and I was thinking I'll use some green stuff to make it look like it's got a root at the bottom.
Oh God,
It
yes.
sticks
it
out.
has to have
Yes,
a
because you
root.
measure from the
Yes.
root, by the way, just in case
Yeah.
anyone was
Do
ever
you?
confused. Yes, you measure right
Ah.
from the base,
Uh-huh.
in case anyone wasn't feeling very happy about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Measure from the base, and you'll.
You see, here's the thing. Is
Scales
are you gonna have
everything.
Are you going to have smaller ones, coming up through the base for actual roots growing out over the top of it?
Maybe. And then I have this other smaller wire, which is just some garden wire. It was really thin wire. So I twisted it to make it thicker, and I'm thinking I'll wrap this around it like this, and then I'll have different
That's cool, actually.
Ah, I see what
different
you're doing.
textures
That's
and
so
stuff.
because you could just do that with green stuff if you really wanted, but that just does it so quickly.
Yeah. I'm all about the instant result here.
We're all
Instant-
about speed and
gratification.
Absolutely. Can I show something off?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as any of you backstagers will know, I've been here since 5:30 this morning. I was continuing my project. You might call it my battle with the 3D printer. But I do have something to show you. I finished this morning saying I got a little bit of success, but I just want to show you my latest little bit of success, because I do see some of my compatriots, my comrades in 3D printer battle here in the chat. So can we cut to HobbyCam 2 there for me, please? Right, so, oh, can you see that? Right. If I hold that, can you see that rough texture that we have there? Okay. So this was, if you've been following along backstage in my thing, this was my first ever designed game component, and it's for a Scooby-Doo game that I play with the kids, and I'm adding a kind of a what do you call it whenever you deduction thing to the game, where there'd be a villain in here and there'd be red and green blocks based on the clues that relate to him, and then you slide in another kind of plastic bit here, and it has one hole in it, and if it's green it means that the villain has that clue, if it's red it means he doesn't. Anyway, I printed it, and you can see that kind of rough texture on the back. So I've been battling with it. Tonight I did a test print just of the bottom layers. Check this out.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Can you see
so
the difference?
Smooth.
Look at that. So that I was talking this morning about the changes that I've made to the printer, and that is this evening's result whenever I only printed basically the bottom bit, and I got that. Can you see how shiny and beautiful that is? So, cut to me. Yay!
You may have won the battle, Warzan, but the war is still ongoing.
The war is still going on, but I have some amazing allies now who have been joining me backstage, and we are going to kick the ass of this printer. We're going to bend it to my will.
Can I just address? There's a comment here from Ingesir. He is working on her starts models, and I would like to show off this here. So I've been using the her starts on some of the Volsung stuff. So if we cut to here, and you can see this model looked kind of boring just by itself, but with the added base of a pillar, I was pretty happy with it, and it gives a bit of a story behind the model rather than just her running on flat ground.
So now she's jumping fences.
She's interacting with something rather than just running along.
You could say she's on a steeplechase.
Could say, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
A steeplechase.
Any term I've not heard before?
You've never heard of a steeplechase?
No.
Horse racing.
I've led a very sheltered life.
Well, it's exercise and activity, Justin. I'm not surprised you.
No, exercise? No. What is this exercise you talk about?
You need an old priest and a young priest, right?
Do you know that ride we went on together?
What was her name?
Where we were riding around on all the horses, and I was chasing you, and you were chasing me.
Oh, you mean that roller coaster we
Aye,
went onto?
that's basically a steeplechase.
Oh, okay.
Well, you can get a steeplechase, which is a horse race, but you can also get a steeplechase, which is a human race.
Okay.
Okay, they're jumping over kind of like hurdles, but they're big ass hurdles, and they've got water on the other side.
That just sounds like a horrible thing. Why would anyone ever do that?
Because some people enjoy
spectator
the
sport more
challenge of it. Yes.
It's really more to see people falling into the water.
How long?
All right, hey, Minty has joined us in the Twitch chat. Hey, Minty, welcome.
How long do you think I need to leave this green stuff to dry before it's set? Paint.
3 hours.
Oh, no, really?
I think.
Yes.
Do you know what? I think I might just do a blue tack and baking soda thing here.
A blue tack and baking soda.
Yeah.
Okay, this is new.
I might.
Explain this. Cut the HobbyCam one and talk us through this.
So I think I might just take a big lump of blue tack
yeah.
and stick that in like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then make my tentacles, as they were, the roots and stuff coming out of it,
Yeah.
stick it in like that,
Uh-huh.
and
Center it
then
a wee bit more on the camera for us, Lloyd.
like that.
Yeah.
And then what I think I'll do is I'll take super glue, and basically paint it all over it, and then just put the baking powder on top and harden it all up into one solid lump, and not have to wait any dry time.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Well, can you do it there? Let's
Well,
watch you do that. For a wee while.
let me get the modeling part of the tree trunks and stuff done here, because I'm trying to think. Do I do the bit where I cover this up first and then embed? I probably would do that first and then embed it into the blue tack. So I should probably cover this.
Yeah.
Get the wire covered up first.
Can I just say to folk that are active in the chat, look, thank you very much for any links and things like that to do with 3D printing, but don't put them in the chat because I think the chat is not allowing links and stuff like that, just to keep us all there. That also, I have no control over the chat. I can only just watch it streaming up, so I can't actually click on anything. So if you do have links or anything to share, go across to the new 3D printing forums over on beastsofwar.com. And go in there and share them in there to either create a new thread or find one of the threads that relates to it and share them in there, because I am active in there, I am watching in there, and it means that you're not just sharing with me, you're sharing the love with everybody that needs it. And oh, believe me, a lot of us need it on the whole 3D printing side of things.
You found it really rewarding, though. Every step that has been stressful, it has been rewarding once you kind of work out how to solve each issue you've had.
Yes, it took a change of my own mindset it was really a case of looking at the 3D printer and saying, it's not you, it's me. It really was a case
really
of
just
that.
doing it's not you, it's me.
Yeah,
just 3D printer.
I had to because when you buy a machine like that, right? Especially anything that says printer on it.
Yeah.
You think you're bringing it in and it's going to be like an inkjet printer or a laser printer, right? You think it's a precision instrument that's already set up to go.
And you look at all these amazing models.
You put it together, and then you start printing with it, and you wonder, why is nothing working? And then you realize, well, actually, I have work to do. So you start trying to level it and stuff. And then it's at that point you realize that these things leave the factory in a condition that's not really ideal for actually using them. You need to add other bits to them potentially. So not only that, but you actually have to make modifications to it far beyond, well, a good bit beyond what they would say in the instruction.
Do you want to talk about the one on the spool that I really liked that you did today?
Yes. Yeah. In fact, I shall go and get it. If you guys occupy them
go
with
and
the
show
chat,
me your reel. Because I found this really interesting when talking to Warren about his 3D printing project, that there is quite a large community of people, and I think it's not an unusual trend, where people make components for your 3D printers. So depending on what 3D printer you have lots of different added options to make your 3D printer better that you can print, from cable ties to things for your spool reels to things to make your bed leveling easier. It's all sorts of stuff. And Warren printed one today that he's going to bring in now to help his reel of material, his spool, flow smoothly, so that when the head's moving over the bed, it's not tugging and there's not kind of any.
So it's not jerking around.
Yeah, it's not causing the filament to kind of feed through in bumping manners. Keeps it smooth.
Which is really cool. It's cool to be able to print, I think, stuff for your 3D printer to accessorize it. I'm not a big fan of the idea of actually printing like a whole 3D printer. I know there's people out there who just like get a 3D printer and then print a whole new 3D printer on the 3D printer. Yeah.
Okay, I've not heard that one before.
It's that whole, you can literally just print anything. I'm trying to get him to print me an insert for Blood Rage so I can keep my minis all nice in my box once I've got them all done.
So, let me show you some stuff, right? So, a lot of the difficulties I've been having, if you cut the Hobbycam 2 there, is with the reel and the feed. And what has happened is I had my reel, but my rod that goes into the hole was tiny, and it was kind of just rattling around in the hole. And you know what you'd find would be the top of the hole would sit on top of the rod, but it's really ineffective because trying to rotate a hole around a small rod actually takes more effort than if your small rod is dead centered.
Yeah.
Okay. So I made this. Well, I printed this. So I got this off Thingiverse, and the interesting thing about this model on Thingiverse was you're actually able to go in and make modifications to it right on the Thingiverse website.
So you could choose the size and the fit for your spool.
Exactly. I was able to make something that was the perfect fit for my spool. And do you want to know something? I got the modification right first time, and it printed first time. So I had major success with that. So this, I was able to set the interior. So if you cut to HobbyCam 2 there,
Much tighter.
so look
Cool.
at that.
Oh, like a glove.
Isn't that much better? Yeah? And then this bit here just kind of puts in there. Now, I made it slightly bigger than the hole so as I could get a really nice tight fit. So I just basically squeeze it quite gently
Yeah.
and then gingerly force it into the hole.
How do you gingerly force something?
Oh,
Gentle
yeah,
by
like
your
that,
your
Gingerly
pressure
ease,
control.
ease it in.
it is so satisfying, actually. You know, just that sense of, you know, it's really, really tight, and then it just
Yeah.
goes in.
Yeah.
And then I plop my rod right in there, and that works spectacular.
Like
Watch this here. Are you watching? Will you see how lovely it spins? Look at that there. You see that? That is a success story right there.
Yeah.
Ben thinks
So-
we need a category for rod watching on Twitch.
We do need a
But
category
we'd
for
get
rod
beaten
watching.
by anybody called Rod.
Yeah. So yes, I'm going to go and leave this back now, guys, and I'm going back and working on my Vikings.
Do we have a bigger brush? So while we've been talking about the 3D printer and stuff, I've been doing the whole super glue and baking soda thing to this to make my
Oh, this is
My
what you were
thing
using
really-
baking soda for.
really rigid. So now I'm contemplating, do I bother to actually take, you know, do I bother to put a skin on like that? Or do I just keep filling in the gaps with the baking soda
Look,
and maybe I'll get really cool texture
just
from
admit
that?
it's snow you've just put on it and it's a Christmas tree you're making. No one's going to judge you.
Ta-da! It's a Christmas tree.
Whoa, 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 whoa! It's far too early for Christmas.
No,
It's
the
not-
celebrations are on the shelves.
No,
already.
that is one of my major bugbears. Is whenever stores put bloody Christmas stuff out at this time of year. I
Before
don't know if
before
that
before
noise
Halloween
out there.
is worth hanging in my book. If it's before Halloween, you need taking out the back and.
I went
That's
up
a
to shop
peddling.
just before the show started, and they've got the Christmas stuff out.
I went out to Poundland to get my super glue for tonight, full of Christmas stuff.
Hold on. You guys actually winding me up, or are you being serious?
No,
No,
it's
it's
out there. It's
full
in
of
the shops.
Okay, guys, need to leave and go to Poundland and exert some
We're all getting angry here.
public.
Whoa! Let's have Halloween first.
Beard Dragon 14 says Warzone even does double entrentres when he isn't trying. The man has a gift. My wife says I'm always trying. So
Ha!
no, it is. She says I'm very trying. So
At least.
John Frostwolf wants to know why you didn't whip out an airbrush for that big colossal tonight.
I was going to airbrush it, but
Wait.
I've been brush painting the rest of my K-Door,
Yes.
and I decided, well, why not? Why break the habit right now? Because I've quite enjoyed just sitting down and brush painting stuff at the minute.
Have you showed
we've
off?
been doing a lot of airbrushing for the Volsong boot camp, so
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
surprised
yeah.
you maybe wanted to take a break from that.
Have you showed off that Kador guy that you showed me earlier?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Oh,
do we
Put it
wanna
under
see
the
that now?
camera.
Oh,
Wait till you
so
see this,
good.
yeah.
Can we get
So-
a close up of John?
Yeah, just a minute. Not yet.
Oh,
What's up,
oh.
of John?
Well, not of
We
John,
can-
but
we
of
can do that
the
later,
the
Shaq.
area.
You want to see my bald spot?
Well, I got that earlier. We don't need that again.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So
Oh, wow, that really tickled you, did it?
this is what this is what I'm going for, and this is basically Army Painter method. So this is base color, with it including all the metallics and everything like that. So base color, then using dark tone quick shade, so the dip stuff. Then after that, it's a matte varnish, and then going in with the highlights. And most of the highlights are just hard edge highlighting with a tiny brush, particularly on the red, and there's a little bit on the gold and here and there.
I don't know if it's coming across in the camera, but when you look at it in reality, it is such a super clean, crisp result.
Yeah.
And-
It looks almost illustrated, but
Yeah.
it's just class.
Yeah, and that is the Army Painter method that did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just straight up following the Army Painter method. It's incredible what the results he got on that.
But applying it in a slightly different way, it's not just dipping it or slopping it on.
Yeah, monkey sloth. That is dip. Yeah, only brushed on, but that is dip.
Yep.
So that's what I've used.
I've got to tell you, you know, it's we rediscovered dip
Yeah.
earlier this year, around the time of it was just before the Walking Dead boot camp, I think, when we rediscovered dip and we started to explore the army painter method again.
Yep.
And we realized, hang on a second here, we gave up on that way too early.
Way too soon.
Way
Yep.
too early. So it's just been incredible.
Another one there, Monkey. No, I didn't thin it. I've just
Nope. Didn't
didn't
thin
thin it at all. However, the way I did it was using the end of a brush when you open the can, stir it, but don't bring all the pigment from the bottom of the can to the top. Let it get a bit towards the top, and then start thinning that out in the actual stirring of it. And then I'd taken a brush and just sort of stippling or brushing on, and then you can see the areas that there's too much, and then you start removing it as you go along.
Okay, can I just interject here just at this point now? Well, Lance made us introduce a thing called Nightbot tonight, and I think Nightbot is going mental and starting to ban people. I've just seen Nightbot come up and warn somebody for putting an emoticon in. I'm really sorry. I didn't realize that Nightbot was such an internet Nazi. Really,
Don't you know it's secretly Skynet?
as somebody also, I think somebody else may have been banned for typing in all caps by Nightbot. Lance, I have to ask: does Nightbot really have this level of power that it can get in and act an arse?
How do we get rid of it?
We're going to have. How do we switch it off?
You turn it on now. If you try to turn it off, it's going to launch the nukes.
Yeah. So let me know if Nightbot needs a kick in the arse or something.
It
here,
could be
'cause,
just that they're spamming emotes, but we can. I think we can maybe turn that off.
But if it's banning people, is it like permanent bans or temporary bans?
No,
I love it.
No,
I
they
saw
should only
says
be temporary.
They would just be timeouts.
Nightbot or weekend GW lawyers. It's a little hot and heavy there.
It's a little harsh.
Can we configure it to be less of a bitch?
Yes, yes, we
Yes.
can.
Okay, we will try to do that, but we may not do it tonight in case Nightbot
Just be
bans
careful
us.
of any all caps and any linking, guys, because Nightbot is not a fan.
Okay, right. Okay, so yeah, we will be careful with the night. No, Lance, you don't need to touch Nightbot. Honestly, but we will. Let's put Nightbot through its paces. Okay. There's no point in knee jerking. If I have learned one thing in life, you never let your knee jerk. You don't do it. Okay. We just chillax, and Nightbot, as she gets to know us, start to settle down. Okay.
Oh,
Right.
What have you done?
Mr.
Did you make a
Justin.
mess? Yes.
I'm gonna ask you to skedaddle because it is nearly a quarter to the hour, and
Okay.
it's time to get past what we have done. And would you believe it? In 45 minutes, I managed to clip 2 pieces out.
Can I show off?
As usual, I'm just bullshitting during Hobby Night Live.
Can I show where I've got to? Right?
Absolutely.
So I've twisted my wire, and then I went over it with just dropping cheap super glue. I got 4 for £1 up in the pound shop, all over the top of it. Dropped on the baking soda, so it's instantly set. And I actually think that at that, I'm probably not even going to need to do a cover up
No,
on this.
I don't think so.
think I could probably take this to spray, and it's going to look cool.
Yeah.
Well, do you want? Are you actually going to take it out to spray it, or do you want to take a paintbrush and take some primer, paint-on primer, and
Is
paint
there
it
a,
on?
is there a paint-on primer here?
Well, we should have.
John, what do you think? Paint-on primer?
Cut the hobby cam on. Let John have a good look there.
I may have a. I would just spray it, to be honest.
I think we just spray it. If we got like a brown, I'll go and find a brown. I'll be back. Because you guys are going in to do the other side.
Yeah. So
anyway.
wait till we go, okay, and then go and find your brown.
Now, just
Okay.
while we're setting up and where you're getting ready, I have a question for everybody
Well,
watching.
I'll let you ask that. I'm going to go in and join the beautiful Justin.
Because I'm making the creepy tree,
Yeah.
should I make a spring creepy tree or should I make an autumn creepy tree? Because I've got this clump foliage from Woodland Scenics that I'm going to use to represent the leaves and stuff. So I have the green stuff, but I also have this funky looking autumn colours.
No, like I have a soft spot for the word autumnal.
Autumnal?
Autumnal.
Can you
Is that a
which-
word?
Yeah, it means to be as of the autumn,
look at that?
and I would love to see that on it.
So if I'm doing it
Autumn, Frostwolf, Miller.
autumn, Christmas, autumn,
No, Soap Dodger's stolen it. Creepy Christmas tree. I'm with Soap Dodger now.
and then basing wise, if I go the autumn route, I have this to drop.
Oh,
to put
look,
down
autumnal. Yeah.
as if it's dropped some leaves,
That looks like herbs and spices.
But I also have this stuff from foreground. Look at this stuff.
Okay, that's just cake sprinkles.
What is it? Basic material, loose foliage, copper leaves. It's not even open yet. Let's give this a whirl.
Zombie Christmas tree, autumn. Oh my word! Have you ever seen the BOW community being so united on answering something? Spring didn't even get a look.
I was
in.
afraid everybody would say autumn because we've nothing else autumny in here.
Yeah, so if anyone's not watching on beastofwar.com, if you're watching on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube or any other means, you can come across to beastofwar.com and actually see the winners of our Spring Terrain Challenge. We had some fantastic entries, and some of those challenges are absolutely amazing. So I think moving on to autumn now is probably
I think that's it. Everyone's voted autumn. I can't go against it. Well, I could if I wanted, but I'm not going to. Autumn it is then. Autumn it is. Right.
I have a quick question. Are we going to pass through?
I think we're going to pass over to the studio now.
Okay, before we do that, make sure that if you have a project of your own, to go over to bit.ly/hobbynightlive and submit your project to our forums as well. You can also join us on the Twitch chat at twitch.tv/beastofwar, and we'll send you through to the guys on the Weekender now. Fast and Furious, Sexy and Furious as well. Here we go.
Okay.
Hi guys, welcome. Armory Burgess says that as he's watching the show,
Yeah.
he has to pause it from time to time to listen to his wife.
Right.
That has to happen, okay?
Yeah.
But he says every time he restarts it, he gets an advert for Budweiser Light. Dude, those buggers never sent us any buds to be drinking on the show. We had a prime product placement opportunity and Budweiser buggered it up.
Dude, I am not drinking on a live show. This sounds like a horrible plan.
Okay, we have a new addition. We have chat screen. So we can actually see what you guys are saying while we're talking about it. So
In almost real time.
MC Gamer's talking to our buddy Jim, who's hunkering down at the moment, awaiting a hurricane. What better way to spend a hurricane than 3 hours with us, Jim? Let's be honest, man. We're probably the best hurricane company you're likely to get.
Or a distraction.
But MC Gamer 1 is talking about that there's he's got folks over on Palm Beach that are doing the same. And we were wishing everybody a real safe weekend over there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Yous are all still kind of chatting about Lloyd's tree and what it's going to be
Don't forget, there are a few seconds
called.
behind us.
Yep. MC1 Gamer also says that drinking on a live show is a fantastic idea. MC Gamer 1, we did it once. Well,
Yeah.
we used to do it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
We pioneered the whole hobby live shows some years back on Turn 8. And
I remember that.
yeah, we had a Halloween show that was the best forgotten. The drink took quite a toll on us. So anyway, right.
Hobby time.
Enough about what we've been doing. Let's go to the real hobbyists now and see the really cool stuff.
All right. The first one to show off, there's actually 2 links for this one. It's Craig Douglas, who has been working on some Thousand Suns and some Ultramarines. You're going to love these, Warren. Look at this.
Yeah,
Oh, Craig Douglas. Oh, you're killing me here. You're killing me. In fact, Justin, you're killing me because look, it's black.
Whoops. Give me
Okay.
2 seconds, I will have that fixed directly.
Okay, so let him fix that so you can actually see what we see. Do you remember how to do it?
Of course I remember how to do it. It's just, I forgot. It's been a long week.
This is professionalism.
Beasts of War, professionalism all the time.
Simplest
All the
thing
time.
will always catch you up.
Okay, well, let's try again. Let's try again.
Right
Okay,
now.
guys, are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Hope
Let's
this works.
bring up Sexy Furious because they want to see a full frontal
Ben. There you
Sexy
go.
Furious. Bang! There you are, Ben. You look
All right.
amazing.
And what he's working on. There you go.
Oh, God, look at it, Justin.
Yeah. It's that nice candy red that you've been wanting to get on the Thousand Suns, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so we've got the candy red here that he was kind of working on a little bit during the last Hobby Night Live we did, but also I think we've also got another link which shows us some of the candy blue that he did for his Ultramarines, and these are actually his finished versions of the models as well. So it shows off how the technique looks when
Hang on,
everything's
Dan.
basically being finished.
We've got a ghost in the machine here.
Wait, what's the problem now?
It's messing me about. Apologies, everybody.
What's it doing?
It's not linking through properly, so I have to go via the secondary option. 2 seconds.
No, it's all right. Let him go via the secondary option. I don't know what the hell the secondary option is. I've never heard of this. Okay, go.
And this, if I go away and back, no, it's not working for some reason. Go back out loud for a second.
What
and
are you?
I'll
What are
let
you?
me fix this.
What is not working?
The actual.
So
Welcome back.
decided to come back out to the main hobby hall while Justin rubs his head.
It was thank goodness I had that minute, because basically I had a proper panic attack as I realized halfway through trying to dry brush that I didn't know how to dry brush.
Oh.
I went rather heavy on my little base here, so John quickly ran around and showed me how to do it. As my first foray into dry brushing it's turned a lot to be just like slapping paint on, to be honest with you, but I'm getting there.
Thank goodness for the sneaky break. Right, I've realised I was going to go outside and spray this, and then I realised, hold on a minute, I should probably just build the whole thing and spray it, roots and all. So I've gone back to modelling my...
Okay.
The clump.
Is that just blue tack?
It is just blue tack. And I'm pulling off little bits of it and rolling it up into little long sausages of blue tack, which I'm then sticking onto the main lump and twisting them around to make them look like funky roots.
Oh no, you should be making a Groot. Why have I not told you to make a Groot all night? As soon as you said funky, I thought, yeah, need a bit more volume on Lloyd. It's alright, he's just simmering right now. Oh, is your mic on?
Oh, my mic is not on. I was going to go. My mic wasn't on because I was trying to go outside and spray.
Jerry, Lloyd is now on.
Yeah, so I decided to come back in. I think we're almost ready to go back in, but I'm going to stick this down first. So I'm in rolling up blue tack, popping it down, and then you can see I'm starting to get my root structure like that, which is looking pretty sweet. Let me just give you a side shot.
Yeah, that
There
looks
you
much
go.
better.
Isn't that cool?
That's really nice, yeah.
Right, I think we're ready to go back over to the studio, are we?
Hello.
Sorry.
Okay.
I done goofed.
Are we working now?
Let me test it.
No.
It is working.
No,
It's working.
the only way to be sure, lean over.
What have I done?
Let's give it a rub.
Oh, you're having to wipe your hand. I'm sweating
Okay,
a bit.
right. Okay, let's see this. So what you're telling me, Justin, now is if I press my boot on, they're going to see something awesome.
The ultramarines. Also
Okay.
done in sort of a candy blue, which is really nice.
Oh, Craig, you're just winding me up now, man. This is not fair. This is so. Oh, look at it. It's so
And he's even named him
beautiful.
on the base.
Now,
That was the cool thing for me that really got it when he put all the names on the bases and stuff as well. That was just the extra touch of personalization that I really liked about these. Yeah.
Yes, Az?
Can I just say, I looked at Craig's work at lunchtime today and near fell off my seat. I swear to you, the shine and the gleam on those Marines. Be still, my beating heart.
it's incredible. I've got to say, you know, look at that Marine down there. Let me zoom in. Look at the shine on that helmet.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, you're just blinded by the light.
Yes. Craig, do you have to rub it to get it to shine like that? Does it require any kind of polishing or rubbing to get it to that level of shine?
You see, if he's working a varnish in, should it not just shine on
I don't think it's a
after you're done
varnish.
applying it?
I have a feeling. Now, Craig, if you're in the chat here, which you should be, let me know. But I have a feeling that what you do is you put down a metallic, okay, and then you rub it furiously.
Is there?
Is he here?
Yeah,
No polishing.
No polishing.
No polishing. Awesome. Awesome. just varnish.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's an answer. This is so much better now that we can ask questions and actually get answers live on the show.
Yeah, of the actual people who are turning up in
Fuck,
these
are we
segments.
not doing this before? This is awesome. This is just amazing.
And suddenly there was an F-bomb.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, right. Back to Ben. So Craig, awesome work. Fantastic. Right. Who's next?
Up is Noggin the Nog. Ben?
Yeah.
Love Noggin the Nog. What's he got going?
Oh, look at it. Look at it!
Yeah. So we're seeing a lot more of the sort of Primaris and Nurgle stuff popping up again once again in
Yep.
Hobby Night Live. This is him showing off some of the work that he's been doing for his Death Guard forces, and as you can see, he's gone for a really nice looking paint scheme here, which really gets into the dirt and grime of stuff. And I think he's going to be effectively building this up to be a larger army as he goes through the night and across the next week or so. But yes, this looks absolutely amazing. I love the rust effect he's got on all the chainmail and the armor, and especially on the weapons and around the bolter as well. Just looks absolutely amazing. So yeah, the Death Guard are proving to be quite an interesting painting project for a lot of people, I think.
I have a question for this one.
Actually, before you get to that, can
Yeah.
it's really important. Probably the most important comment that's come up on the night. Mr. Stainless says, "Your hair looks amazing, Ben."
Thank
Can
you
we
very
bring
much.
Ben up? Because I think
There you go, Big Ben.
Ben is turned into Leo from Mythic Games tonight.
No.
hasn't
Leo's
he?
is a little more spiky.
Oh, no.
That's a little more tamed.
Oh, it's
Slightly more tamed.
it's amazing, man. It's amazing. So you're very sexy furious tonight, buddy.
Right. So I have a question.
Yes.
I want to know how this basing. What is there like an effect paint or something that's being used to get that nice slime effect going down off the armor and onto the ground?
Right. So Noggin the Nog, if you're on the chat, come on over to the Twitch chat, mate, and let us know, how do you get your slime onto your base? Justin wants to know.
I want to know if it's a specific effect paint or something else that he's done.
Yeah. Okay, who's next?
Yep, so next up we have a first-time poster and a long-time lurker on the Beast of War forums called The Swaif. I guess that's how you say the name. But he's actually been painting up this really awesome-looking Captain Rani Namu from Marvel's Nexus for his sister, so which I thought was pretty awesome. So yeah, a really awesome little birthday present that's coming along here, working away at the base and stuff like that for this model, which looking very good so far, and hopefully it'll be interesting to see where it all goes. I particularly like the water effects and the way the spray has been done on this at the moment as well. So yeah, very cool. Yep.
Very, very nice job. And
It's beautiful,
nice to see
isn't it?
That transition between the actual decking here and the actual water itself.
What is the model?
It's from Wild West Exodus. The box or the cards here.
That's incredible. I love that. What is that that's on the base?
It's a mechanical tentacle coming up out of the ocean.
Mechanical
really nice
tentacle.
design. I think we actually have a couple here in the studio.
Can I just reach out? I know I'm changing the subject again.
Okay.
But if Tim Chubb is on the chat, Tim, me and you need to set up a metal band called Mechanical Tentacle. I'm so into that. Mechanical Tentacle. I think that'd be amazing. Okay. So Noggin and Nog has got back to us. This is awesome, Justin.
Yeah, it's so handy.
He says he used PVA glue and he tinted it with a secret weapon wash called Fallout.
Right. I'm going to have to give that a try because that's a really nice effect on those bases. I love that.
Can we cut back to the bases just to have another look at that?
Yes,
just
I have it
just
here.
to see. So so that is a PVA glue with a tint of Fallout from a secret weapon. The effect of that Noggin and Nog is absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous.
It's one of those things. You think Nurgle, you're thinking slime and decay. But how do you actually get it done? That's a really simple and effective technique. I'm impressed.
I have a question for you, for anybody out there in the community, okay? If I wanted that slime dripping from an armpit or something like that there on a model, okay? Would I leave the PVA glue to start to cure and then glue a tiny hair to the arm? No, listen. Glue a what are you laughing at me? Glue a tiny hair to the armpit, okay? Or the arm, or the weapon, or whatever you want to glue it to. And then take the PVA glue and gloop it onto the hair so as it kind of gloops off the hair. And how would you get gloopy...
So are you talking about drips of slime you're trying
drips of slime.
Right.
Like coming out of a giant's nostril, a big snotty nose, Justin.
Here's your problem. PVA...
But I know what my problem is. After watching you eat slugs... No, never worry.
Snails?
I'm not even going to go there. Oh, was it snails? Was it?
Yeah. It was the finest escargot in Paris, I'll have you know.
Yeah.
But
Tune
no,
into
anyway.
Backstage this weekend if you haven't seen it already. I think we talk about it on Sunday. It's in the running order for Sunday, is it? Yeah, on Sunday you're going to see him eating slugs, okay?
Snails.
He loved it. When he get back, I'm going to get him a big bowl of snot.
Dude, I told you I'd bring you takeout from Paris if you want it.
Anyway, if you could post in the chat how we would do the drips. So Jerry says if you want to do drips, use Yoo-hoo, okay, and very fine fishing line or a see-through nyling and put the Yoo-hoo on it. Could I also mix in some of the Fallout wash into that? Milmo11 says Yoo-hoo, that's the one to go for. Xenophobic says Yoo-hoo, that's the one to go for.
By a country mile.
Elder Veteran says use Vallejo water texture.
Ooh.
So there's another one. Here's a genius one here. Black Spiral X says a hot glue gun.
So do the drip and then let your slime dry and then bore a little hole and put the tip in?
I don't know if you'd stick a tip of your slime into a hole.
Well,
Maybe
you see,
glue would be enough. A little bit of glue would be enough because there's no weight to it.
Yeah, but to actually get it to sit properly and make it look as if it's part of it,
Yeah.
it might look more natural.
Xenophobic would try the Tamiya Clear or the GW Technical paints. Is there a GW Technical paint for slime?
Possibly.
Could be. Other than that, everybody else is now talking about frog legs. Justin.
Frog? I am not. I have met my quota. God damn it.
Barry Williams, just before we move off the topic, because this is interesting, he says, put the PVA glue into the microwave for a couple of seconds and it'll give you an effect that you can use as a drip. That's
What?
interesting.
What was it?
I wonder if you put a big bowl of PVA into the microwave with that green stuff in it, would it end up looking like the gremlin that went into the microwave in Gremlins?
Maybe.
I think that'd be amazing. We've got to try that.
All right, you can use your own microwave.
Real Winter says you could use a bit of thin wire. He's never attempted it, but everybody. It seems that Yoo-Hoo seems to be the choice.
Must just
there,
have the right
so.
viscosity for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Next up, who have we got?
We have Mad Golem, who has been apparently working on some Volsung buildings, which look pretty good.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so Matt Golan's been working away on some Wilson buildings, obviously inspired by the upcoming boot camp, no doubt. But yes, this is the perfect example of somebody kicking off their hobby using our Hobby Night Live show. These are all ready for priming and stuff, and he's going to be working on these throughout the weekend, I think, which is going to be pretty awesome. But yes, these are absolutely fantastic buildings as well, and perfect for Wilson, as you can see. So yeah,
fantastic, Mad Golem. I am really looking forward to seeing how you paint that. As you'll know, we have like 150 million Volsung buildings in here in BC4 HQ. It has taken literally, we've had 2 people working on it now for 2 months.
Yeah.
To get to get all the stuff built for Volsung. It's been
a terrain dense game.
It has been horrendous, a big undertaking to get that done. But we are looking at possibly painting up some of it, just to see how it comes together, because we're giving away 9 tables, but some of the tables are going to stay here. So we're thinking of applying some paint to that. So I'd be really interested to see over the course of tonight and over the course of the rest of the couple of weeks how your paint scheme turns out on that. So, okay.
Right, next up, Radagast is working on some miniatures, some Volsung, and oh, actually, that's a Jezebel.
it is,
Yes.
yeah. So, yeah, Radagast has been sitting down to paint up some more Volsung models that he wants to bring across to the boot camp. And also, as you can see there, you've got Jezebel, which was the model designed by Dawn, our very own Dawn, which was absolutely amazing. And yeah, I think it's going to be a nice thing to see these on the tabletop when it comes to next weekend, hopefully. So yeah, very cool indeed.
Okay, I have a hobby topic for us.
Okay.
In the chat room, Frostwolf has asked, what's the best way to prime MDF? Tester's enamel primer or Vallejo airbrush primer? Right. If it were up to me, I would probably go for the enamel primer. And the reason for that is that MDF just sucks up all of your primer. It really does. It sucks it all up. So you'll waste a lot of the Vallejo stuff because it's thinner being through an airbrush, so it will just suck in.
What I would suggest is actually take something like the Army Painter matte spray and give it a coat of that first.
Yeah.
And then you've literally just got a solid shell on the building, toughens it up, and then it'll take the paint perfectly, nice and smooth as well.
So what were you putting on it?
Matte varnish. Army Painter matte varnish spray, the anti-shine stuff.
Really?
Well, you have to cover it somehow.
But that's expensive too. I would be looking for a cheaper way to cover it. If it were me, I would get down to your local car body shop, right, and get some car body primer and prime it with that, because you'll get a bigger can for cheaper, and it'll work fine for this. The other thing is there's a material called shellac. Now, they use it in the furniture industry, right? And it's shellac is specifically used for sealing things like MDFs and HDFs and stuff like that.
I'm sorry, this just sounds as if it should be in Krull.
No. Bearded Dragon 14 says Justin is very quiet. You're welcome.
Okay. This is me putting the mic up closer to my mouth. Can you hear me better now?
Cranberry Sauce wants to know, are we still doing Flames of War stuff? Now, somebody has messed around with our chat.
Yep.
I don't know why they would do that. Yes, we are. In fact, there's a Team Yankee campaign for running at the moment. So if you head over to firestorm.warconsole.com, there's a huge campaign taking place over there. Okay, right. Who is next?
Next up is Tom D, and unfortunately, Warren, this is going to make you wince a little.
Okay, go for it.
We've had a 3D printer failure.
Oh,
or is it a failure?
I don't.
Yeah. So this is Tom D and his 3D printing work. Obviously, yes, he's showing off some of the mistakes that have happened in the past.
Yes.
But he's also further down this little bit, this post of his, showing off the project that he's going to be working on tonight, which actually at this point has actually fully gone through its printing process, which is pretty cool. But yes, this is the kind of building and terrain that he's going to be working on over the rest of the night, as well as a few Infinity miniatures as well, which I thought was pretty cool. But yes, someone else is taking up the mantle of doing some 3D printing as well, which I thought was very, very cool. So yeah.
I quite like the design of this. It's very nice and very industrial, and you can paint it up clean or dirty as you like. What do you think, Warren?
Yes. So scroll down to the bit. Did he print those miniatures as well?
No. Those are Infinity Minis.
Okay.
This is the 3D printer he has, and these are some of the failures he's had to begin with.
Yeah.
And
Here I recognize a lot of this.
Yeah.
So scroll down to the model.
Bottom. This is what he's planning to print tonight.
Okay, sorry. Let Ben finish. So if we go to the next post, Ben, is there more of it? Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to scroll down and see some more. Yeah.
Okay, keep going till we see. Oh, here we go. Now that's quite a complicated model. There's quite a lot of overhangs and stuff in that. Yeah, rather you than me, mate. I'm looking at that. That looks like an 18 or a 20-hour model, that one.
You see, this is the thing. Is it better to print in sections or to actually just do a square?
Well, to print this model, okay, from my limited understanding of 3D printing so far, the problem here is that you would have to print this basically as an empty box. So the entire inside of that is going to be filled with a framework, which will add support to the whole thing.
And I assume that'll cut down on the print time?
No. The fastest way to print that, in my experience, would be to try and find that model in separate components, okay? Right. So each wall flat on the 3D printer, print the walls and then glue it together.
Right.
Because to do it this way, A, you're using much more material, in my opinion. B, you're relying on that whole support network. It's going to take ages to print it because remember, you're still going to have to print all the walls anyway. But as well as the walls, you're going to have to print all that support material and then hope that the support material, it will. 3D printers are pretty good at this. Yeah. Hold the whole roof and stuff in place.
Right, well, here's the question for you. See where you've got all these overhangs and stuff? Would you need to be printing support structures around that you would then need to take out?
Your slicer software should work all that out for you. Okay. So if you were using Cura, and that might be Cura that he's using there, you would turn on supports. It's an option. So what it would do, not only would it build all the supports infill on the inside of the model, if that model has been designed to be solid all the way through, it won't be solid. You would infill it with 20% infill. Okay. But all of those overhangs will have extra removable kind of support.
Like latticeworks?
Yes, that are designed to hold it up until such times as the entire thing is printed.
Got it.
If you're able to get into the Google Doc, there may actually be the link to his finished print if we're able to do that. If not, we can move on and I'll come back to it later. But
I'm not seeing. Actually, possibly. Hang on.
That should be the one.
I have found it. So we actually have a finished print we can show here, Warren.
Oh my goodness!
So you can see how it turned out. So yeah.
Holy moly! So he actually got it to print.
Yeah, and I can see sort of the leftovers of some of the framework.
Yes, that's your kind of support structure. Did he print that with supports? That's very interesting. That has turned out so well. And I see it's actually based on one of the Infinity card models.
Now here I'm seeing a lot of stepping on this. Is this maybe another test one that he did? Because it looks different to this one?
Could be. If you scroll down a little bit, he actually describes what's happening there. So he's saying he's some issue with stringing and Z banding. Also, the infill needs to be higher than 5% infill. Yeah, but still, it's glorious to get it cleaned up and primed. So he's
very cool.
That is a really cool project.
Up that challenge.
Yeah.
You know, and you have that learning curve on them anyway, which
Yeah.
you're going to have to expect.
Absolutely. I'm loving seeing these kinds of projects coming up on Hobby Night Live as well, because the guys had to basically pull me away from the 3D printer tonight. They were saying, no, there's no way your Hobby Night Live is just going to be you standing going, look, look, it's still
doing a
printing.
thing.
It's still printing. Have we any more?
Yes, we have. Next up is Civ Bowl, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Or whatever, yes.
SV Bowl,
Yeah.
who's working
And,
on some more Death Guard.
Exactly, yeah. So as I say, we've got a little bit more Primaris and Chaos stuff popping up in the forums and stuff, and so this is him showing off one of the schemes that he's been working on here for the rest of the night. And yeah, I think it's looking very nice. It's a little bit different from the one we saw before. This one's a little bit more clean, I guess you'd say. But yeah, I'd say it's still incredibly effective, and I'm sure it's not quite done either yet. So yes, very cool indeed. And I love the way the armor works nicely with the pale colors against the green as well.
Yeah.
Very cool.
See, for me, I like the look of the Death Guard with some of those original chapter colors mixed in there. It just it makes the army look nice.
Yeah, you can see some of the work that he's also done on the Poxwalkers further down in that post as well, which I thought was really cool, because I think he's used a lot of sort of like very thin paints or washes to try and bring them out. And I think this actually makes the Poxwalkers, in my opinion anyway, look a lot better, because I really like the idea of them being all this sort of quirky colours and stuff, a little bit like bruises, I guess, oozing out over the tabletop. So yeah, very cool.
Yeah, very, very cool indeed. Next up, who do we have? Do you want to say this one, Warren?
Yep, this is Bob. This is Bob Coquiane. Bob's actually coming. He's actually coming to. Yeah, he's coming to the boot camp.
Is he?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So it's we'll be seeing Bob very shortly.
Cool. What's he working on here, Ben?
So it should link through, if it's working, to him showing off some Samurai Wild West Exodus stuff and Space Marines. I think it should be working.
Mm-hmm.
It should hopefully be working. Yes, it is. Oh, good. So yes, he's doing a little bit of a mix of all different types of things, as you can see here. So he's painting up some of the Samurai that you could use for Test of Honor. I think these are actually some of the old War Games factory models that got bought over, I think, as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's also got some awesome looking Confederates for Wild West Exodus. I really like these models. They got a very nice Spec Ops feel to them, which is very cool. And then, of course, there's a few Primaris thrown into the mix as well. I think he's doing them up as Raven Guard, I think. So yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
looks about right.
Fantastic.
And we have one more, so I'll just jump straight to it.
Okay. Yeah.
Which
Oh.
Be happy, Warren. Be happy.
Oh, look at that. Oh wow. Oh
is
wow. Yeah, this is the 8th Army stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Damon, I'm impressed. I am seriously impressed.
So yeah, he's been working away on this 8th Army for a while. He says this is his almost finished project that has been going on for about several months now. I think most of us as hobbyists are quite aware of that sort of fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are looking absolutely amazing. Very nice crisp designs on here as well. I really like how he's done the windscreens too. They look very, very good. So yeah, really nice to see some more of this sort of like desert style going on the tabletop. Yeah. As well.
Yeah,
Very
that
cool.
is beautiful stuff. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, well we give away a voucher.
Yeah. Who are we voting for?
Ben, who do you want to give it to today?
I think simply because maybe this will push him to finish off his project after several months. Maybe we give it to Damon.
I
think, for
agree.
his
I
8th Army
agree.
stuff.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
okay.
The 8th Army stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Done.
So you're going to get yourself a 50. What is it?
30.
A 30. 30. Blah, blah,
You're
blah.
thinking Shades of Spring,
Okay,
hang fire.
A 30 blah 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 Army painter voucher. Okay, right, guys. Look, thank you very much. We're going to pass you back out to the hobby hall. I think Lloyd's got his tree ready and he's just dying to show it to you. Right, over to you guys.
Well, we're back, and Lloyd has disappeared.
It's okay.
Yep,
Everything is under control.
we're good. We're good. We
Lloyd
have
is peeing, so if you hear any background noise, he's maybe not turned off his microphone. We apologize for that. There's nothing we can do now.
Yep.
It's gone beyond the point that any of us
Well,
want to get involved.
he's coming back now anyway. So.
Good film.
Really hope you hit the. Yeah, you did. Okay. Hello. We're back. So just before I take this to spray, I actually added some more wire to this because I wanted a little bit. I was looking at it thinking I don't have enough texture here. Then when I go to dry brush, it's just gonna look like.
How do we
too
cut the
flat.
hobby cam 1 to 4 to see that closer? There
And
we
then
go.
I've been sitting working away on my blue tack base for it. Now I've just shoved it in the middle. I've put a little bit of texture in there by just using my tool to just push in and spread it around, but it's all these overlapping roots and stuff. I don't know how much of that, if anything, is going to come through once I put the baking soda over it, because I'm going to cover it all now in super glue, and then put baking soda over it to instantly set it. So
Will
that
it give it a nice crusty shell
I
over the
don't-
top of the root?
I
Will
don't
it?
know. I'm hoping it'll be nice, crusty looking roots.
Yeah.
And then when I go spray them and dry brush them, hopefully they'll have little raised lumps and stuff on the roots.
Yeah. That is pretty. Do you know what, Lloyd? If that works, that's going to be an ingenious method of fast terrain making. I will be astounded by that.
I must admit, it's not for me. One of my least favorite textures in the entire world is the feeling of dried super glue on my fingertips.
Right.
Oh, I loathe it.
You don't want this.
No, this is a technique I
And
did not
if you
think
get
would be.
if you get super glue on your fingers and then get the baking soda on, what happens is it heats up and actually it can get very hot. So just
There's a reaction between the two.
there's a reaction. That's how it instantly sets. So when it instantly reacts, it creates a lot of heat.
Yeah.
No,
Justin, bring your bald head over here a second.
it's never burnt me,
Do you want to try this out?
but you know it could get uncomfortable if you had loads of it.
What's
We're going to
being
put
done
some
here?
super glue on your head.
No,
with
we're
a
not.
bit of baking soda.
I am out. I will be back in a moment.
Okay. While Lloyd's doing that, I have a hot hobby tip. Okay.
Do you need this camera again?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's go into
let me evacuate.
to Hobby Lab 2 here. Okay. Right. So, if you guys, we use this here, Contactor Professional. We've always used it. We've used it for years and years. I love it because I love the extra control I get because of the needle. So this is a plastic cement, okay? But one of the things that you'll often find is it clogs. So here is our hobby tip
Oh.
that John showed me years
We've
ago.
already had one fire alarm
To
this week.
unclog it, you go like that. Now watch, and you go until it does poof out the end. Bang, done. And now I'll be able to use that on my Viking ship, just like so. There, job done. Awesome.
You never cease to impress me, Warzone.
Oh, it was a great hobby tip. So, okay, Lloyd, are you ready to show off where you've got to now?
Yeah, I'm still working away on this base here, trying to make sure that everything's
I
nice.
dry brushed for the first time when you were in there, Warren. It was pretty exciting. I know no one else is going to find it exciting, but I really did.
I may have got a little overzealous and covered up too much of my roots here. So if I was doing this a little bit calmer, not on camera, I might take a
time.
tool and make sure there's a much thinner coat over the top of the roots. But I'm kind of just whacking it together here, because I want to get onto the painting stage, because I feel like this is something I can get done, finished, and celebrate at the end of the night going, yeah!
Ninjilly says that might have been the single best hobby tip he has ever heard.
Wow.
Anything that involves a little bit of pyrotechnic love is always an amazing hobby tip, Ninjilly. I would agree with that. Okay, I can now officially declare I have actually glued two pieces together on Hobby Night Live. I've done something.
Ta-da!
It took 4 months.
It's only taken 4 months, but I have actually started to put something together on Hobby Night Live. So
Whoever got that for bingo, you've you've won.
there we go.
What's a good color for red brick?
Red.
Red would be a good start.
Red would be a good start, but now I'm thinking, because it's kind of faded over the years.
Well, put it under the camera so as we can see
How
what you're
about
talking about.
here? Have a
I've
look
got
at
this here
I know
one
this might
here.
sound weird, but have a look at fur brown.
Yeah, I think fur brown might actually be right on the ball there. Because I've got what is this, lava orange?
How
at
about you
the
cut
minute?
close into hobby 2 there so as they can see that?
Yeah. So what I was going to do is just kind of use a soft tone or strong tone on this, obviously to get into the recesses. But maybe this fur brown is a good plan, because I just want them to be red brick steps and bricks.
I'm asked by Nagym Farkas.
Well, good attempt, good attempt.
Nagym Farkas says, "Hey Warzone, do you miss painting? Are you happy with gaming and modeling only?" No, I don't miss painting at all. Actually, I don't miss painting at all. I'm very comfortable with the decision that I made to retire from painting completely, and not to concern myself or worry myself about it. It's taken a lot of stress out of my life, and yes,
A lot more onto John.
yeah, well, no, not really. It's taken a lot of stress out of my life, because it just deciding if you're not enjoying something, to be able to say, do you know what? I'm not gonna stress myself about this anymore.
Are you talking about retiring from painting?
Yeah, yeah. So it's if anything, it's changed how I look at my hobbies. I now look at it through the lens of eBay, looking for old crappy armies that have already been painted, that I feel that dip and a varnish will save. Yeah, it's been good. I have really come around to the idea of finding. I've really got into my historical stuff, I've got to say. I've been looking at some of the kind of the fantasy and sci-fi stuff as of recently, and it's left me feeling a bit cold. And we were watching a trailer for, what were we watching a trailer for recently? As it was Necromunda.
Necromunda, yeah.
Yeah, and Az was laughing at me, and I said, "What are you laughing at?" I said, "Just look at your face."
Yeah.
Because I was looking at it going. And I said to him, I don't know what it is. I loved Necromunda as a kid. It was something that me and Lloyd had got into. But since discovering Dark Age stuff,
yeah.
And Crusades,
the punk rock look, the kind of rebels, not doing it for you anymore.
Sci-fi in general is not really doing for me at the moment. Like even with the launch of Star Wars and stuff like that. To be fair, we're quite lucky here at BC4 that we can kind of say we've been there, we've done that, because we've probably done the best Battle of Hoth at 28mm that has ever been seen on the planet, I've got to say. So we kind of got that out of our system a little bit. But for me...
Well, Lloydie and I saved 2 boxes of X-Wing from going away to the distant BLW lockup.
We did.
And I think there's a... Easy now, Tiger. You make me nervous with how wobbly your blade is. Anyway, we're hoping to get some X-Wing maybe in at Sunday gaming in the BLW camp. So yeah.
Well, anyway, to bring it back to my point, there's lots of cool historical stuff on eBay that is painted to a basic level, but knowing the tricks that we know, especially the Army Painter dip and whatnot. I know that I can pick up something that's basically painted and bring it in a couple of steps. We'll take it to a really nice level, and I get to play with basing. I haven't given up on basing. I'd like to get back into basing again. I think I could do it.
Well, here, have a look at this. Here,
Yeah.
I'll pass that over. You can have a wee gander at that. See what you think. I may have gone a little bit heavy, but I'm trying to do it real quick. If I had more time, I may just go the green stuff, but it's hard and set.
It's at the stage where really you need to stick a primer on it to see if it is actually any good.
Which is what I'm going to go do.
Because at the moment, it looks like somebody blew their nose and you want to keep it. So it's like,
Well, let me show it off on the camera. So this is where I am. Can we get up close?
Yep.
Before I go away?
Yep, we are.
Excellent. So there you go. You can see my rootage in around the base there. I'm hoping some of it will come through. You can see it because the baking soda is kind of transparent, but I'm hoping once I put the paint on, there'll still be some ridges and things. I maybe went a little heavy because I'm trying to do it real quick. If I was trying to be more precise, I'd put smaller bits of super glue on and spread it around a lot thinner with this, like a metal tool. And the reason I use a metal tool is because then when it gets bunged up with super glue, you can just scrape it off the end like so.
are you at the stage then when you're going to prime it then?
Yes,
yeah?
I'm going to go prime it because I've gone, during the break there, while you guys were in talking, I've gone and found some fur brown, I think, and some other brown and a bit of scaly bones. I'm going to kind of do sort of a little combo of the 3.
Are you going to kind of give it a basic zenith? Is that what you're going for?
Well, I might go for a bit of a zenith so the tops have a little bit of scaly bone, because I'm going to dry brush it anyway with scaly bone. But
I think a zenith, if you're going to do it, I think a zenith would be the way to do it.
right, well, that's what I'm going to go do. See what it turns out like. Yeah, because I'll put rocks and stuff on it during the basing.
Nagium Farkas, Justin, just wants to know, does anybody remember the number of guys and the amount of time that Justin needs to build a cathedral?
That is what, a 10-year-old joke now? Wow.
Well, he does say that it is an old Justin moment from years ago.
It is.
Would you like to remind us, Justin,
what was
to build Liverpool Cathedral?
What was it?
Out of timber? You were saying. Do you want me to tell you, because I will never forget?
I can't remember. It's that long ago.
10 men in 6 months. Yeah.
Really? Oh God.
Yes. And how long did the cathedral take to build in reality?
I think you said like 100 years.
It was 100 years. Yes, Justin.
Yeah, the thing we always forget is, Warren, you badgered me that day.
Oh yes, yes. I
that was always
you.
half the fun of it.
I badgered you for a quote.
This is something I never did on site. I
Jim,
never actually
Jim
did
Jim has stood up and he said that it is officially Beast of War's official oldest joke. It totally is.
Yeah.
It totally is.
Well, at least I know once I'm long gone, that'll be the joke that I'm remembered for.
We'll get it. We'll get it on your epitaph, Justin.
Put it on my tombstone.
We will. No, do you know what? I will get 10 men in 6 months in timber, and we will make your tombstone. That's like
It'll take 100 years.
Wouldn't that be awful if you did that? And at the end of it, they went, wait, what was his name again?
No.
Yes.
Justin.
Yo.
Do you want to use that camera there? Because no one's using
yeah,
it?
I'll jump across.
Yeah, let's see what Justin's working on.
Let me grab what I've done so far. I've actually done a little bit on everything so far. So I did say I was only going to do the one thing, but I've kind of broke from that. So let me jump across here.
Typical hobbyist.
Yeah. So what I had planned to do was I had planned just to work on Sledge tonight. If you want to bring it up for me, Lance.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is, the only thing I've done on Sledge is his skin and his trousers. However, on everything else, I've started adding some nice reds and stuff because I'm going to have to try and do some glow effects on this. So I've got my little forge here where they've actually made one of the guild balls. I love the fact this comes with a little piece of terrain. I've got one of the other characters actually has a furnace on his back where he keeps his sword. So I am going to actually make the attempt to do a glow effect.
That's
on the
cool.
sword.
Furnace. So he just pulls out a red hot sword each time he goes to strike.
If you look, you've got the furnace on his back there, and so he pulls out a red hot sword. So I'm going to have to try and do a glow effect here, which I've never done before. So I'm trying this one live. Even the goalpost, if you look at the top here, there's like bubbling metal in here, so I'm going to have to try and make that glow.
Magma.
Yeah, and the one that I've actually done the most to is Anvil. So I've got his skin done, and I'm starting to work away at his cloth. So hopefully this should be interesting. I'm also, instead of doing regular Caucasian skin, there's actually one character here with dreadlocks. So I'm going to do a different skin tone on this one, which should be interesting for me because I've never tried it before.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm obviously going to paint up the little ball, because why wouldn't you paint up the ball? It's guild ball. It's kind of important.
What kind of ball? So theirs is like, it really looks metal, doesn't it?
It's like a little metal ball.
Little furnace.
A little furnace, yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
then you've got Iron here as well, who is very interesting. Oh, what are you doing? What's this?
That's a model that I painted this week. That has a different skin tone rather than Caucasian. Or
yeah. See, this is the thing. Some people are a little intimidated at trying different skin tones out because they know how to paint Caucasian very simple. It's put down pink. Whenever you're doing other skin tones, I mean, I know Roman has done some very nice tutorials on them on the Kingdom Death Mini, so I may have a look back at them at some point.
Do you want me to try and go get them? And we can show them
no,
off
it's fine. It's fine. So I'll pass this back to you, Lance, and I'm going to get back to work here. How's John getting on?
I'm getting on alright. I haven't strayed off a different color yet. I'm still working on all the metallic stuff.
Can we cut to hobby cam 2 there? Do we see some of that? And oh, John.
It's looking nice and heavy now with that metallic down. So he's getting there. I really love the Dragon Red though. That's one of my favorite spray primers to use at the minute, especially for Kador, because I'm kind of going for like a slightly duller red and then working it up with the highlighting to the brighter red. So yeah, that's where I'm at the minute, still working away at this.
Well, I am well on the way to my Viking boat. Oh, wait, see. A Hondaman! There it is. Isn't that awesome? And this is it from the side. Look at that there. So I'm about to work on this bit now. These the two ends where I want to put some kind of Viking ornament on there. So yeah, it's coming together. It's coming together rather well. I also have an injury. This is if you get into that. That's a 3D printer injury right there.
What?
How do you injure yourself with a 3D printer?
A 200-degree nozzle.
Oh,
at 200 degrees
Warzone.
centigrade.
I see.
An idiot here was trying to level the bed while it was warm, and he managed to clip the end of the nozzle onto his finger and get second-degree burns. So yeah.
Ouch.
Hedge would love to hear a Floki impression from Warren right now.
Oh, that laugh.
Ragnar! That's as close as I can do to a Floki. Dignity, right. So Engine Seer 5000 says, for glowing metal, remember that the outer surfaces are cooler than the inner surfaces. That means that the higher ridges are the darker colors. So it's basically the opposite of the usual shading that we're used to.
Yeah.
Well, the way I'm looking at this, if I bring the character actually into shot here.
Okay, Hobbycam 1.
So, what I'm going to be doing is, down towards the hilt, the blade's actually going to start out black, go through a deeper red, up through an orange, then a yellow, then a white.
That's
But
exactly
that's
the opposite. That's the opposite.
exactly
of what
the
it said.
opposite of what you've just been advised to do.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The tip of the sword goes in first. It's in the hottest part of the furnace, so it's going to glow white. And the
But it's
hilt
not.
is the coolest part, so
but
it's
his
going to be dark.
point is, your tip isn't in. Your tip is out.
No,
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 but-
no, no. He actually is making an interesting point
Here's
because
the thing. If you look at the back of this, the furnace is on his back, acting as a scabbard. So the hottest point is down at the bottom here.
Oh, okay, zoom in there for me. Do I see this? Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense to me because the entire, well, the majority of the blade is being heated.
Yeah, and the thinnest point of the blade
So
will take
as
the heat
you
most.
withdraw the
Oh,
blade
okay.
from it, it will be brighter
so if it's
towards
freshly
the.
drawn, yeah, that's
Yeah,
actually.
it will be brighter.
Well, Justin, all
Anywhere
I
from
can
the
say is you have much more experience handling a hot nozzle than I do. So you know what you're at. I get burns. You get awesome.
No, hang on.
So-
I have actually burnt myself multiple times with things like that.
Oh.
I remember that we were at school and in technology they gave us a project, right?
Yes.
So essentially we were making South Park characters, and I decided to make Kenny.
Right.
So you know the little ring around his hood?
Yes.
I cut that out of wood, I shape it down, and then I go to hot glue it. But me, like an idiot, I hold it like this, run it around it, and the glue goes down the hole in the middle from a hot glue gun. So a big blob of it, whap, right into the middle of my hand.
I still have the best burn story in here, though.
Gone ahead.
Joe, do you not remember me telling you this one, the reenactment incident?
Oh yeah, but I'm gonna let you tell it.
All right, okay.
As has been making me let people tell their own stories.
All right, fair
Oh,
enough.
I'm such a mean guy.
Imagine letting us talk about our own life
Stuff like that.
experiences. You know,
Okay, John.
Terrible.
Get on with it. What happened?
All right, so back in 2008, something like that, we were doing a battle reenactment at our local military show, you know, the Port Rush show that we used to put on.
Yes.
And it was during our heyday, so we had every weapon we could possibly want at our disposal for rental. So this year I rented a Tommy gun, and I thought, this is going to be class. I'm going to be running around with a Thompson. It's going to sound amazing. It's going to look amazing, and it did. You know, it was fantastic.
Did you stand up and go, "It's a Tommy gun"?
In my head, I went, "It's a Tommy gun," and then I went for it. But at one point, I had to play dead. You had to take a shot and fall down and whatnot. So I dropped, lay the gun down beside me just to make sure it was safe.
Can
And
we
I
get
lay
a
there for,
demonstration?
huh?
Can we get a
Yeah,
demonstration?
let's get on the close cam. Let's get on the mobile cam and actually see this in action. I think this is worth witnessing.
Do you want me to take a reenactor fall?
Yes.
You want me to take a reenactor
Let's,
fall?
Are you sure for that?
let's go up. Let's go up to the middle passage because I think it'd be too dangerous to do it in the back passage here. Okay. So let's do it on the middle passage.
All right,
Okay. So you've
okay.
got your Tommy gun.
Yes.
So you've just went. It's a Tommy gun.
This cam.
Lance.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep,
sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So there we go.
Go switch. Switch. No.
He's
There you go.
fine. There we go.
Hey.
So it's a Tommy gun.
Yep.
Right. And then what do you do?
Be careful of the edges.
Okay.
Hang on.
Don't brain yourself.
Let me
Okay,
make
be
this a
careful of your
little
mic.
more safe.
Okay. Right.
Alright.
I will protect everybody.
Okay.
No, that
Okay.
edge behind you in case you fall.
Yes.
I'm not falling that way.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
this
He's
way.
falling that way, so you
I'm
might
going
want
that
to you
way.
might want to be preparing yourself, Lloyd, to edge back. Okay.
Right. So am I shooting you?
Yeah. So.
Remember, you can't
Right.
clip things.
I'll
with
shoot
Twitch.
you and I'll make the
Now,
noises.
to be
and all.
fair,
Yeah,
my
make-
stomach
make
is a
the
little
noises,
weird,
yeah.
so if I throw up when I fall down, it's not dramatic effect.
Right.
It's real.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
So I need to I need to run forward. I have to do it. I have to do it in slow motion. So I have to run
Let's do it in slow motion.
and then down like that.
Okay. Right. And then what happened to the Tommy gun?
So I threw it off to the side,
okay, as you do.
as I do. Should I stand up again?
No. Keep going. Okay.
Be more dead, John.
I can't be more dead and explain the story at the same time, can I?
There we go.
That hurts.
All right. So, sorry. Okay. So then what happened?
So lying there for about a good 5-10 minutes,
Yes.
and I'd fired about 5 mags through the gun, so it'd seen a fair amount of work.
Yep.
So, at the end of the battle, they fire a whistle and say, you know, you can stand up.
Okay.
So I went to stand up.
Yep.
Stood up like this, reached down with my right hand,
Oh no.
and grabbed the barrel.
Oh no!
The barrel was about 200-300 degrees.
Oh jeepers creepers!
So I hear this sound like a frying pan. Yep, it sizzled and everything, and withdrew my hand and said some very choice words at the gun and at myself.
And smelled like bacon for
And
the rest
smelled
of the
like
day.
bacon for the next 15
Oh.
minutes. So I had to stand at the back of a St. John's ambulance for half an hour getting ice water poured over my hand.
Oh, John.
And then had to walk around with an
Oh,
ice pack
John.
for a day.
Oh, John.
That is my burn story.
I have one.
I still actually have the discoloration on my hand, so normal.
Yeah.
And this discoloration, which is across here, the center of the palm.
That bacon.
Dude,
looking-
I always thought that was friction burns.
Well, that
Okay, I have a story for you. Okay.
too. Can we sit down?
So when I was a youngster, okay, I was in the cadets, and we were on an exercise.
Yep.
Okay. Up in Edinburgh somewhere. Okay, and we were out in the field. We'd been camping there for a couple of days. Okay, and the CO had flashbangs. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And he was in charge of the flashbangs. We weren't allowed to do it. In fact, we'd been given the whole thing of you never fire blanks directly at somebody because it's really dangerous. He put down soap,
Yep.
fired a blank at
We
it,
got the same treatment.
soap
Yep.
disappeared, right? But anyway, he was chucked these flashbangs, all right? And that was grand. None of us realized what had happened. One of the young fellas went and got one of the spent flashbangs and stuck it in his pack as a souvenir.
Yep.
Okay. And we went back to the camp, and later that night he was admiring his flashbang. Didn't want to talk about it. Had been playing around with it, and then went and had a smoke.
Oof.
And he had leftover powder,
Flash powder on his hands.
no.
and the hand was in a shit state. So
Yep.
instead of doing the wise thing
And saying-
saying to one of the CEOs, I've made a mistake here. I've hurt myself.
Yep.
He sat with his hand in a tree trunk that had collected water, and sat there for about 6 hours overnight before one of the CEOs actually found him and said, "What are you
What-
at?"
yeah.
At which point, then they had to get an ambulance and stuff to get him away. So, never touch another man's flashbang.
Never.
Never, never. Right, let's get back to work.
Did my mic even survive the fall?
Apparently there may have been some volume issues on it.
I'm sure.
Okay,
I think
Lance.
it's just
Lance.
Lance, camera.
Lance. There we go. We can get Lloydie back in and get his stuff on. Okay, I'm going to get back onto my Viking thing. So Jerry says it's gone all Jaws. He's waiting for the Quint moment.
Gonna admit I haven't watched Jaws.
Okay, Justin,
Yep.
give us an update.
Well, what I'm currently working on at the minute is, so I primed my guys all in plate mail, right?
Yeah.
But I don't want all the metal to be the same shade of silver, so I'm actually working through with a lot of gunmetal at the minute to actually give me 2 tones of metal through the actual thing. So if you look at the shield here, you can see it pretty well. So the outer rim of it is all going to be that nice bright metal, and then the inner, more hammered bits are going to be a bit more forged to brute. So
Would
a
you
little darker.
are you considering throwing some bronze and stuff in there too?
Yes, so the inner ring here, bronze, gold on this, and gold on this.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the outside I'm going to do some tinny tin, or maybe some very bright silver.
What are you doing on Tinny Tin on his chinny chin chin? Or
No, tinny tin on the edges.
Oh, Tinny Tin on the edges.
Why do you always laugh at those names?
I love that Tinny Tin.
Yeah,
It's
greedy
like
gold,
the
tinny
Vallejo
tin,
color
brass and
brass.
brass.
Yeah.
You ready, Lloyd?
What's Tintin's dog called? Toto.
Toto, yeah. Oh,
No.
that's going back
No.
a year or two.
No,
No,
that's Dorothy's.
that's
fucking
Dorothy's
dog.
dog.
Oh, Toto.
What's Tintin's dog
Snowy.
called?
Yeah.
Oh, Snowy.
Toto.
it's the same breed of dog.
Am I on or off at the minute?
You are on.
Okay.
Hopefully you weren't outside and on and grumbling.
Everybody on the chat is saying it's snowy. For goodness sake.
Okay, calm yourselves, calm yourselves. This is almost as bad as Ouroboros.
Okay, Lloyd, are you ready to bring in your thing?
With what?
Toto wasn't even the same breed.
Was it not?
No, Toto. Toto was like a little Scotty dog, and Snowy's a white terrier.
Ah, but they were both terriers then, because was Toto not a Scottish terrier?
Isn't that what we just said?
Yeah, that's pretty
You
much
said
what I just
Scotty
said.
dog.
They're both dogs.
Scotty dog's a terrier. Scots dog.
Okay,
I heard them
look,
called
forget
that.
about Hobby Night Live. Can we discuss dog breeds here? Can somebody tell us what breed was Snowy and what breed was Toto? And while we're at it, what breed Scooby-Doo?
What's a Dane?
Great Dane.
We've got Doggate going on here. Jerry believes they were both terriers, so Jerry's on your side, Justin. Curse13 wants to know who let the dogs out.
I'll let you in here, like.
Toto
Boston
was a
Terrier.
Cairn Terrier, okay, by one source. Toto was a Boston Terrier by another source. Snowy was a Fox Terrier. And Scooby-Doo was a Great Dane.
Great Dane, yeah.
And Snowy was a cartoon.
Terrier.
Wasn't Snowy a Westie? According to Wikipedia, they are all horses. Oh, dear.
That's why I didn't get a first in a lot of my university work. I relied on Wikipedia.
Really?
There we go.
I cringe.
Okay, so, right, let's cut to Hobbycam 1. All right, Lloyd, what do you think?
It's not too bad. There's a few bits here that look a bit sus, but I'm just going to put a bit of moss over those.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I'm quite pleased with the result.
It's a very knobbly
It looks like a dead tree.
thing, yeah.
I don't know. Are you gonna dry brush it a bit darker? Are you
Oh,
gonna-
I would put wash on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But there's a few bits here or there where you can sort of see a wee loop of thing. Oop, I'm just
Oh, is your mic on, Lloyd?
Oh, you know, outside.
Whoop.
This is on now. Yes,
Yes,
so there's the
look.
odd little bit here or there.
Okay, Lloyd. How about you start again now that people can hear you? Okay.
Yeah, so here we go. Been outside, sprayed it, left it to dry. This is the end result. I think it looks quite good. There's a few bits and pieces here and there that look a bit too wiry, but I'm just going to put little moss effects over those, like you would find on a tree, you know,
Yep.
moss growing up the
Yep,
sides
yep.
and stuff, and that'll cover it up. But overall, I think the effects pretty cool.
You should also work on sculpting some mushrooms onto it.
Oh,
Like
mushrooms!
big toadstools and stuff.
That's such a good idea. Mushrooms.
Sorry to interrupt. Can I remind anybody that's watching, if you want to get involved, come across to either beastsofwar.com, where the chat is running there, or go to twitch.tv/beastsofwar. The main chat room for Hobby Night Live is run via Twitch. We are also monitoring YouTube chat comments, but we are not able to see what is taking place on Facebook. So if you're watching on Facebook, enjoy, but if you would like to get involved, head on across to either beastsofwar.com, where you can join in with the chat, or join us on our Twitch channel on twitch.tv/beastsofwar. Okay. The Tempo Graphics wants to know, are those Northern Irish accents I detect? They are indeed, boyo.
Why did you throw a boil in there?
I don't know why I threw a boyo in there.
Boyle's not what we say.
No.
Well, no, actually it is, because most of the world thinks Northern Irish accent is only one accent, and it's actually a Southern accent.
No, they don't say boyo either. It's more Welsh.
Yeah, it's the Welsh
Yeah,
who say boyo.
the Welsh
Do you
for
know
boyle.
why I have a word that gets anyone into the Irish accent? It's helter skelter.
Helter Skelter.
Helter
Yeah.
Skelter, yeah.
Helter Skelter.
Oh, Blacknell84. I just want to do a shout out for Blacknell84. The poor sod has cut his arm open going through a window. 5 injections, 2 X-rays, and glass removed from the wounds.
Oh, hope you're okay,
It looks
bud.
like he went 10 rounds with a mini Wolverine. Dude, we hope you're feeling better. That's
Unless
nasty.
you were breaking and entering, and then you know.
Way to put a bad spin on that there.
We hope you're okay, bud.
I was just turned around and goes, were you committing a crime at this moment?
That's probably a very good point.
But yes, get well soon.
Now, hang on, has this just happened, or is it something that happened earlier today that he's had to get fixed up?
But Rich,
Well,
is that you? Are
That
you
was still
Blacknell?
just happened.
Is that Rich Dean? Is Blacknell 84? Because if it is, we know
believe
Rich
it is.
Dean very well. Yeah, it is. Oh,
wow.
Rich, man. Ouch! Ouch!
Funny, when you read that comment, I had Rich's like voice in my head. You must be like speaking to me telepathically.
Did you know, Justin?
Okay.
Here we go.
Seconds out. Ding ding.
Did you know that the U.S. military
Yep.
actually conducted a load of experiments on telepathy
Yes.
and the likes of that? What do you know about it? Because I'd love to know what you know
I
about
know only
it.
that
You
it
know
happened.
everything. Okay.
This
I
was
know
the-
nothing.
They
Wasn't
sent
this-
George Clooney to a desert and made him stare at goats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the whole basis behind that movie, that research.
What do you know before we go any further?
That's all.
That's all. So do you know any of the kinds of experiments and stuff that they did?
Well, I'm guessing they made men stare at goats.
No, it was. I don't think it was as interesting as that, but some of the results were very interesting. I read a recent report that back in 1980, somebody made a prediction in one of these experiments, okay, about a plane crashing into a building and the building collapsing.
Right.
Okay,
That's kind of generic.
it's kind of generic.
A plane flies into a building and crash. The building comes down. That's not
Okay.
exactly incredibly specific. It
getting-
wasn't
I'm
saying
not
it's
getting
this building,
involved.
this
Okay,
round.
I would love to do a survey, okay, of all the lasses that have went to see the Madame Margot's and see how many times that prediction was read off a palm. Really?
Is that not the same as who's the great philosopher who made all these predictions?
Nostradamus.
Yeah, is
Yes,
that not the same as
Nostradamus.
Nostradamus? But
Yes,
technically,
history of truth.
Mystic Meg.
Nostradamus just made so many predictions that some of them came true.
Is that one of those terms that if you throw enough stuff
Yeah.
at a wall, some of it will eventually stick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Or
wonder
going all
if there's-
conspiracy again.
Yes,
Yep.
I am indeed. I am indeed.
In the grand scheme of things, though, it's not hard to imagine if an airplane hit a building that the building might fall over.
Well, it's interesting you should say that because it's never happened before. It's only ever happened once in history,
I know the build.
as far as I'm aware.
I know the airplanes have hit buildings, like in New York. There's been.
Yes, but the building has never collapsed. As far as I'm aware, I think
Yeah.
it's only ever happened
But
once.
if you imagine something in your mind,
Yeah.
most of us would think if an airplane did hit a building, it probably would fall over.
And if the building that was hit in New York did go down, would they not go, ah, he was right?
MC Gamer 1, Wargamer Haven has said he's just seen your skeleton project. You, sir, are a nutter. So I'm just putting a call out to Ben. Ben, can you make sure that if that skeleton project is in the Hobby Night Live thread, I want to see the nutters work as well, please. So if you can make sure that it's there, that would be great.
Anybody got any purples? Dan?
Yes. I
Go
do.
fish.
Go fish. I would love a set. No, hold on, I'm not gonna start mixing your beautiful paints. What? So this is an entire Vallejo set of like.
Yeah.
I don't feel worthy of your beautiful set of paints. I must admit.
Dude, every paint set is beautiful here.
Ice Storm. What a name for a color.
Well, there's one over here as well.
Ooh, yes.
I know, it's
Might
it's
work
not
very
10,
nice
10.
for you. This is Grimoire Purple.
Perfect. Thank you.
Stick it under the close cam so as we can get a look at it.
So
Or there's a very nice Wasteland Soil
yeah.
here.
So I mean, So just to show what I'm looking at. So this. So hold on. You might struggle to see this a little bit, but I got my boats underway. So these are my little ships. Now in the game, when you play with them, they come with little seals, just like this. So hopefully you'll get a rough feel for what it looks like. So I'm basically using these little guys as a test of what to do with the water. So just basically going blue, inking them down, trying dry brushing, and then going to highlight them a little further. And the reason we're testing them is for this guy here. So this is my sea serpent. Let me get him under cam a bit better. So going dark blue in the bottom, lightening up a little bit, and then sharp into the white. And I'm hoping that inking this is going to sort of bring that back a little bit. But what I'm looking at now is in here to look to do the sort of mouth and maw of this sea serpent. So I'm thinking a reddy purple. I'm thinking maybe a dark purple for the back of the jaw and then the tongue. Yeah, so the colours that actually Justin's given me,
Wasteland Soil here.
Wasteland
I think would work
Soil.
Very nice.
or Grimoire Purple. I think Wasteland Soil would be a really nice good colour for the tongue. And then I'll maybe keep the slightly darker purple for the mouth. And then I haven't decided, it's one of those weird monsters. I'm not sure if it should have clean teeth. Do you know when you have a monster going through the water all the time? Probably keeps its teeth pretty clean.
I would imagine so. I would imagine.
If you're doing teeth, use something like an ivory.
Well, any picture of a great white I've ever seen has sparkly white teeth.
If you want to
What, you mean like super bleach
switches
white?
there, that's...
No great white is bleaching his teeth.
So yeah.
Oh my god.
First attempt dry brushing tonight. First attempt wet blending.
Ow.
Oh.
Okay, so are we going to go for bright white sparkly teeth?
No, I think I'm gonna go for slightly ivory, or maybe white and just dull it slightly with some soft tone. I think might be the way to go.
Or you could actually throw a bit of a green wash onto that, just very lightly, to make it look like there's algae and stuff growing between the teeth.
I would, if it were me, okay, I probably would go for the big white shiny teeth because there are creatures in the sea that clean teeth.
Oh, that go in and nibble around.
Yes.
But see, this guy would be a bit, I think, far more active than maybe a blue whale. So far more hunting ships and getting in and he wouldn't maybe have time for letting little fishies get around and nibble in there.
All right.
So I might keep it a bit dirtier than that.
Okay.
Do we still have hair dryers in here somewhere?
Yeah, somewhere.
Being the operative word.
Justin's drawer, he uses it in the morning.
Why?
Because I want to dry my...
Sorry,
my,
Justin, I couldn't. That was...
You want to dry your? You want to dry your what?
my bark.
Oh, your bark.
Dry your bark.
Okay. Have you put a wash on your bark?
Yes, and it's
Can we
drying.
see it? Let's stick it under Hobbycam 1 there. Do we see?
Now look,
just what it's
whenever
looking
you
like?
first showed me this,
Oh my
I
word.
did not. I was like,
That's
"How are you
actually-
going to get it so
is there
dark?"
almost
And you
a
really
face in
have.
that?
You've really done a fantastic job.
Lloyd, you've put a lot on that. I
have
wasn't
put a lot
expecting
on
you
that.
to go so heavy on that.
But I can dry brush up from that, you see. So I think that'll give me all the shading and the nooks and crannies that I want. But I want a hairdryer to try and dry it faster. Justin, you don't have... Oh, no, you don't have one.
Why would Justin have a hairdryer? Really?
Just in case. Nah.
For why?
Nah, you don't have no hairdryer. I'm going to turn my mic off. If I forget to put it back on, someone remind because it's going to go rummaging.
Okay. Right. I am just trying to stick this thing into the sailboat here. And let me show you.
A beard dryer, says Ben. That would make sense for
There we
your
go.
sentient beard,
So
Justin.
I'm just...
I do love the fact that the beard became sentient.
I love the
Look.
fact the beard begins sentient.
Look! We need to pull out. We need to pull out.
Or
there we
pass
go.
it over here.
There we go. Yeah, have you got a wider one than
We
I
have,
have?
we have a wider shot here.
Okay, right.
Do you?
Let me
So
clean my nice little brushes.
let Justin get her under there. Look at that. Look at that. I think I'll get a Hobby God bag tonight.
Isn't that kind of cheating? That works really well.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah, it's quite nice.
It's quite nice. Notice Justin's compliments never really
No,
extend to
no.
that's really
No.
anything. It's
Whoa,
quite,
whoa, whoa,
it's
whoa.
okay,
Whoa.
it's sufficient. It's what's his favorite one? It's workable.
It's workable.
Oh,
It's serviceable. That's
Yeah.
it.
Do you what do you think, Justin? Do you like that? And he'll go, little bit. Little bit.
no. Justin's best was what I would
It's
have done.
serviceable.
After he says the thing
What I would have
is,
done? Oh, dude, hard. Yeah, come here. Give me that.
It's why when
Said with love, said with love.
it's why when I finish painting something and I go, oh, should I post this on Facebook? No, I'll just send it to Roman.
But see, when Justin does finally turn around and say, that's amazing, then it's like,
It
you've
means
earned
more.
it. You've really earned it.
da 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 da.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
No, I think he'd just be pandering to me at that moment by that time.
So, John, I'm looking to go to Belfast. Actually, that's a really nice paint job you've done there.
Yeah, could you give me a lift to Belfast? Oh, by the way, that paint job's amazing. Yeah.
Nah, I don't do that.
Well, to be fair, the last time we drove to Belfast and ended up with a speeding ticket, so.
Yeah, that was funny.
Success.
He found a hairdryer. Brilliant. That's exactly what you want to bring out during a live show.
I'm
So-
going to the next room.
Oh, okay. Can anybody even hear what you're saying to me?
Yes, they
Okay.
definitely can.
Okay, so I'm going to put something out to the community, okay? So Justin,
Yeah.
I need to know what to do with I don't even know what you call this, right?
Crossbar?
So right, guys, help! Right, out of the way. Okay, right. So I'm doing a Viking ship, okay?
Yeah.
What's this big sticky up bit called?
The mast,
And
The mast.
right, and what's this bit called?
the crossbar.
Well, I want to know what the official Viking names were. So if anybody can help me out, what did you call this crossy off bit and that bit there and the mast? What were they called in Viking terms? And then my second part of that question is,
Can I pronounce it?
Justin, here, Floki, stick out onto the camera there for me. I want to know, should I try and put my crossy bar bit across the top of the mast, or should I store it on the crossy bar story bits, storage bits,
going
down,
that way.
Yeah, no, it would be up higher. It'd be up higher.
So I'll put it there.
Up a bit, up a bit, up a bit, up a bit. Oh, that's it. That's the spot. Okay, or do I put it on the crossy bar storage bits,
Which is this thing.
which is that bit there? I don't know the official Viking flipping term for these, but yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. Here you go, Warren.
So-
Take it back.
Usually a yard arm.
Vote a yard arm.
Please,
A
please,
spar,
no,
maybe?
please, everybody
I thought that
vote.
was a shop.
Yep. Okay, so let me know. Do I stick it up at the top of the thing, or do I stick it on the storage bits? So I'm going to sit here and just wait and see what anybody comes out with, because I want to know
we should
what's
start
going
a
to be cool.
straw. Lance, any chance you could do a straw poll and let's put crossy bar bits in for the entry? 'Cause-
What will become the official Beast of War name?
oh my word!
Actually, Fisherman Drew, he says, is the yard arm not the forward one for a jib? Okay.
Now you're even more confused.
No, I'm really confused. Does that mean the jib is where you put the sail? Does that make it a blow jib? So
I don't like the cut if you're a jib.
See, here's the thing, Warren. They're saying all these names, but they're not saying it in Viking.
It's called Sligura. Siglura.
Do we have any Scandinavian viewers in?
Yeah,
Oh, sure.
he thinks the technical term for it is the thingy bit.
I agree with that.
The jib is the runt sail. I imagine that's
Runt
the
sail.
front sail.
The thingy,
Yeah.
the other thingy.
Dude, you're missing the point. I want to know: do I stick it up at the top of the rod, or do I put it down across the thingamabobs?
Is it a thingy with a bubble?
Knowing Dave's dead Dave, knowing Vikings is probably just called the hanging stick. I agree. Right. I have been in a Viking ship.
You have. Why didn't you ask the Vikings?
Because they're not here. It depends how you're using. So Balthazar says, right, if they're currently sailing, or if they've just landed on the beach, then it's at the top. Or if it's in harbour, then it's stored. Well, actually, I've got another question to ask, right? So, Justin,
Yes.
stick this under close cam 2
Okay,
for
just
hobby cam 2.
let me get this one little panel here.
If you hold
Right.
that, put that on the thingamabobby holdy bits,
Gee.
okay?
All right, so I've got it here.
Okay, right. Right. In Vikings, okay, whenever it's
Ah.
raining, okay, and they're in a really bad storm and you can't put your sails up, it looks to me like they put that there and they use that to hang something over and
Yeah,
to turn it
canvas.
into almost like a tent, okay? So, can I do that? Because that would be kind of interesting. Because I want one of my Viking ships to look a bit like a
What,
like
tent
a
it?
tent. Yeah.
I think I know which bit you're going to get next, Warren, for your camping gear.
Yeah.
A Viking or a Viking long ship tent. Just put it on the back of your car. There you
Okay,
go.
so it's called the Siglutra, and the mast is the Siglura equals a yard. Okay, so Icewolf says to make a tent, or to pitch a tent. No, I'm going to try and make a tent. Do you know what? I've decided that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick it onto the holdy bits, and I'm going to make a tent out of it. So.
Okay, so I've been out drying my tree. Look now, what do you think?
Yeah.
Now,
Oh wow!
given
Need to
this
get your dry brushing down on that, but yeah.
given this a little inspection, I think the nice round wire has worked really well. This wire had a bit of a weird little seam up the middle. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, which has come out a bit weird looking in places. So if I was doing this again, I'd make sure that I have nice round wires, not this sort of flat look, because it's more forgiving. But anywhere it looks a little strange, I'm just going to pick out some sort of mossy type flock or something like that and dab it over the top. But first things first, let's do some painting. Now, what do I want? There was some like Monster Brown floating around.
Yep, here you go.
There's some chat, Lloyd, that it looks like the monster from Dogma.
Yeah.
Somebody else says it looks like knickknacks. Yep, we get those.
Years since I've seen those.
Ooh. Where I need a bit of. There we go. So I'm just basically dry brushing. Oh, I might stipple this with a sponge.
Okay, while Lloyd is stippling, Justin,
Yes.
me and you have important work to attend to.
I see. Okay.
Okay,
Let me
So-
clean my brush.
Justin and myself will prepare ourselves, and we will go and join the bin. So if we can let you guys step in and show off some of your hobby. Lance, you don't even have that under camera, mate. So there we go.
I haven't seen much
That's
of what
more
you're doing,
like it.
Lance, yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you working on?
Oh, sorry. If you want to share your hobby, go to bit.ly/hobbynetlive. The guys will check out your project with Ben, Sexy Furious, and they'll be with you very soon. John's just returned, so he's going to be kicking me off this here. But
No, please keep your seat.
Well,
I'm working on this. I don't know what it's called, like a boiler, but the golems come out of it, and this is one I painted a few weeks ago. So I'm just trying to match the color scheme. Obviously, we'll put some strong tone on it, but we'll get the colors on first, and then maybe we'll do some quick highlighting of it. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I've been basing some other Volsung minis in the background. This is one that I painted previously this week on stream. I don't know if we can see that. The screen is so far away from me. I can't see. My eyesight isn't as good. This is one of the miniatures that I painted earlier this week on my own stream, and I've been painting the bases on these, so I'm going for the red brick base. So first I painted it all with lava orange from the Army Painter, and a second coat of, let me see, leather brown from Army Painter as well, and I'll go through that with a strong tone and dry brush with white. We'll hand you over to the guys in the studio now, and I hope that we see some awesome projects.
Well done, Lance. See the way he did that handover?
Yeah.
Proper job.
Yeah.
Proper job. Okay, Ben. What's up?
Cool, yeah, so we're going to kick things off with a little bit of Drop Fleet Commander. This is for a tournament that's coming on up in October, and Michael86 has been painting up some awesome looking moons and planets for him to use on the tabletop, which is very cool.
Yes.
But also some matching space stations as well, which actually have been color coded to the different planets as well, which I thought was really nice. So it works in a very cool tournament setting. But yeah, it's nice to see that people are playing around with space stations and doing some of the tricks and potentially the tactics that we use when we built the moons and stuff for our tabletops as well.
Yeah, because I was just looking at those, and I'm wondering, did he use a similar technique and approach to ourselves? I like the way he's cut gashes into his,
like
though.
the scars. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Like asteroids and stuff have hit the planets and things.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because we went with divots, but looking at that, we should really have put gashes in
Yeah,
instead.
yeah.
So yeah.
Although
Okay.
the color choices are very different.
Yes, it's. Well, I wonder, is the yellow ones more like kind of stars than moons?
Possibly.
They could be all sort of planetoids, I guess. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Possibly.
Or
Very nice.
that's no moon. Oh, never mind. I'm not even
No,
gonna
no,
go down
no.
that route. Okay, right.
No,
What's
that is a moon. Not a
who's
space
next,
station.
Ben?
Next up, we have Fohammer 888, who is actually going to be painting up a mix of sort of Conflict 47
good God,
US
look at
that.
Marine Corps guys,
Yeah.
and also some of the dust figures as well being thrown into the mix, because these kind of models all work very nicely in the World War setting, which I thought was very cool. So yeah, you've got UCMC dog team leader there, which is looking awesome with his sort of robotic dog,
Yeah.
sort of World War dog, and then he's also working on some bits of artillery, a tank, and some other bits and pieces in 15mm as well, which I thought was really cool for Team Yankee. So, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that is sweet. How did you do the tank? Wait. Go back up.
This?
Yes.
Is that a Conflict 47 one?
So what I want to know is, how did you achieve that kind of almost like a zenith on the tank? Was that airbrushed or
That
how
looks
was that
airbrushed
done?
to me.
Yeah, that looks really nice. So
Very nicely done.
yeah, Dave Hawes was close to making the that's no moon joke. So I'm not alone in being a sad git. So,
Who's
okay,
next?
who's next, Ben?
Next up, we should have Doug the Fug, who's been painting up a Blood and Plunder cannon emplacement.
No, we do not.
Oh, we don't.
Something has
there
gone
may
wrong
have
here. I've
been
got something from James.
This is Jim's house. This is Jim's place, right? All boarded up,
Yeah,
ready for the hurricane.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Jim! Look at the front of it.
That is some pretty expert houseboarding up right there. That looks pretty damn secure, man.
Goodness me. That's it. That is nuts. Right. Well, let's move on. Have we got Doug the Fug on the next one?
No, we do not. Ben, I think you've messed up our hot links here.
Okay. So we have more Jim. Okay.
Yep. Moving
and what's
swiftly
after
on,
that?
Our next one.
Bruce
Bruce
Lee.
Lee.
Yes.
Yes. So Bruce Lee is next. Sorry about that. That's my mistake. I will go and see if I can find Doug the Fug for next time. But 1 second. So yes, Bruce Lee is actually working on something which is really cool. He's doing a little bit of gaming in the gaps, and he's designed some of his own chapter called the Astral Vipers. When you look down towards some of the more painted models, you can see the sort of symbology he's using on the shoulder pad, which is very cool. But yes, he's throwing in a mix of sort of old school Marines as well as the Primaris ones here. And yeah, it's going to be really awesome to see how this comes together with a very sort of nice, familiar salamander green going on.
Are they? What do we know? The Astral Vipers is his own chapter, isn't it?
It's his own chapter, so it's one that he's come up with himself.
Yeah, I love that shade of green.
It's very nice, and seeing that bright yellow in there is really punchy.
Yeah, that is shaping up to be a stonkingly good paint scheme. That. Okay, who's next? I bet you it's Jim again. I bet you it's Jim's place.
It's Radagast. Our good buddy Radagast.
Oh.
Fine. But yeah, this is more of Radagast and some of his work, and he also wanted to show off some of the other bits and pieces he's been doing, where he's actually been creating these weird zombie dinosaurs, which I thought was very interesting.
They're cool.
So yeah, you've got the look of some of these dinosaurs that may have survived the meteor that destroyed them all, and maybe they came back in a strange undead fashion as well. So yeah, very cool looking project that he's working on here. So.
I absolutely love that. I love that. I can think of 3 little ones sitting at home that would adore that. So absolutely spot on. What a great idea. I'm going to have a go at that. Probably using Lloyd's kind of super gluey method and see if there's a
that might look really good.
Yeah. I'm going to have a crack at that. Nice one, Radagast. Awesome.
So we're going to let you pronounce this next name.
Okay. So next up we have Mole Wharfman. Mole Wharfman. This is beautiful.
Yeah,
yeah.
Really nice.
So this is some painting up of the Neverborn for the world of Malifaux, and as you can see here, he's done some absolutely amazing work on this sort of purplish, pinkish skin, and the amount of like super detailing that he's got into on the face and stuff is absolutely amazing even at this early stage. Because obviously the rest of the model still has a little bit of work done to it and stuff, but just that facial detail is just outstanding, I think, and it's going to work really nicely against the black dress that she's also wearing.
Well, this is what I was going to say, Ben. You're kind of missing a trick here because the way he has painted that black is so subtle. Yeah. It's so nice. Black is one of those really difficult colors to get done right. Yeah. Because how do you paint black? You don't paint black. You have to paint in greys to actually get yourself a really nice, believable black. Yeah. And you can be really harsh with it without meaning to be. That's just nicely done.
Yeah, I love the skin tone. I think that skin tone has either been wet blended or airbrushed.
Or both.
Either way, it is a beautiful skin tone on that. Just as I cut to Ben's face. Not that skin tone. That's a sexy, furious skin tone. This skin tone, yes. Okay. Okay, who's next?
Next up, we've got Andy M75, who unfortunately lost some of his pictures last time we did the Hobby Night Live, but this time he's come back to show off what he's been working on. Okay. And this was a cheap toy tank that he got from a charity shop, and he's converted it up to use in his games of Dead Zone. So as you can see, he's been taking it apart, painting up the separate bits and pieces, and sort of going to town on this to create his own personal project. So yeah, I think it's a really nice idea to show someone sort of effectively upcycling something that you could find in a charity shop to use in your tabletop war games, which is really cool.
Yeah. Very cool idea.
I am desperate for that. Okay.
Really?
Yes. Andrea introduced me to car boot sales.
Yes.
Shortly after I met, I had never actually been to a car boot sale before.
Really? Ever?
Yeah, I'd never been to a car boot sale. I'd never really been to a charity shop. It was just never really on my radar. Because
some of the greatest toys I ever found as a kid were at car boot sales, just rummaging around.
The one time I did go into a charity shop before I met Andrea, I found Space Crusade for £1.50. So
really?
Yeah.
Was it complete?
It was almost complete.
What was
it was almost complete. I think there was just one or two miniatures possibly missing.
Wow.
Because that led me then to go online and look for them, and then I rediscovered all my love of miniatures gaming. But Andrea then introduced me and got me absolutely addicted to car boot sales and charity shops. So now I cannot go past them. and I am constantly picking up stuff from car boot sales, especially to turn into pieces of terrain and stuff like that. You know, it's because it's my most recent one is actually out in the hobby hall. So when I go back out, I'll show you. I got a. Do you know Planes? Do you know Cars?
Yeah,
the Disney
yeah.
movie? You know Planes, right?
Yeah.
I picked up a little kind of Learjet kind of planes. The only thing it's missing is the tail fin, but I'm going to get that plastic. No, I'm not.
You're going to 3D print
I'm going to 3D print the bloody thing. That's what I'm going to do.
Here's the thing. Car boot sales and charity shops are very dangerous for us wargamers.
Yes.
Because if the other half cleans the house out and goes, oh, he never looks at that anymore, I'll just put that into the charity shop. No!
Yes.
That could be your
Do you know what else
thing.
I found at a car boot sale recently? So when New Games Workshop started to resurrect a couple of years back, they went on an independent retailer hunt, okay, and they started sending out the free sample boxes, okay. Now the free sample boxes had multiple kits inside, including sample paints and everything, okay. But they started sending them out to absolutely everybody. So like delicatessens and all sorts of people were getting these sample boxes, right? It's just part of the experimentation to see how many places it could get selling product. Well, at a car boot sale, there was a lady who had a complete sample box, untouched.
Right.
And I went up and I said to her, how much for the weird little toys? I was thinking about getting it for the young fella. And she says, I don't know much about it. A couple of quid. £2.
I would have bitten that woman's hand off for that.
£2. And it was full of Age of Sigmar.
Yep.
It had Space Marines in it.
Yep.
It had sample paint sets in it.
Yep.
It was just full of stuff for £2. It was
He's a little bit of a sharpster at car boot
here,
sales. I need to keep an eye on you,
when
sir.
when you're at a car boot sale, you know you have to get ready to negotiate.
That's a little bit
You have to
cutthroat.
get ready to negotiate.
I had the same sort of thing when I went to a charity shop, and I saw in the window there was a version of Hero Quest in there, and it just had £2.50 written on the side of it. I was like, there can't be everything in there. It can't be complete or whatever. Walked inside, had a look through the box. Absolutely everything was in there in basically mint condition, effectively, apart from the book. And I turned around and said, "Is this £2.50?" And she went, "Yeah, I don't really know. It's just like one of those old board games." Took it away, took it home. Was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I got for £2.50." Looked on the internet, worth like what, 170 quid, £200 now.
Yeah.
And I felt really, really bad all of a sudden, but then very happy straight afterwards when I started playing it. So yeah.
You missed a trick. I would have haggled her down to £1.50. I'm probably the only man I know who haggles in a charity shop.
I don't know. There's no, not for me.
Dwafford 2001 says, I love this. Beast charity shop wargaming find. Okay.
Beast. Okay.
Yeah. You're loving it. Okay, his best charity charity shop wargaming find. He managed to find a complete set of the Rogue Trader era Eldar Harlequins in the original box, plus a few extras for a $5.
Oof.
Oh, nice.
I do have to admit, I did that once with the original 1986 Blood Bowl. I went to buy, bring, and swap.
Yeah.
Got an original copy in reasonable nick for £5.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Dealer of Death is looking at you, Ben. He's saying, "Look at him. Look at those beady little eyes and that shifty man." Ripping off charity shops.
MBDIs is one of our site members. Different person.
Okay, love it.
Yep. Next up.
So next up we have Cypher 2009, who's actually painting up some really small-scale Romans.
Love
So
it.
he's been tinkering away on some of his Roman armies. You can see here, it's all in 10mm. The bases arrived just in time for him to start working on things for Hobby Night Live. As you can see, he's going with the quite standard red scheme for his Romans, which is very awesome to see. But yeah, he's putting together a cool set of different formations and stuff for him to use as he builds his army up over the next couple of weeks as well. So yeah, looking really cool. I would be very interested to see how this all looks when it's all finished, because I'd like to see how you base these as well, which would be very interesting.
Okay, go back. Ben, okay, third image down. 1, 2, 3. Is that a catapult or a trebuchet?
That's an Oranger.
I think in this period, yeah, it was called an onager.
It's an Oranger. An Oranger. Okay.
I've
Is that manned by unches? Is it?
Yeah. I read
Okay.
phonetically.
So
Screw
it's an onager, yeah.
Onager? Okay.
And is an onager just another name for a catapult?
Yeah, it was just the early name for a version of a catapult, basically.
What would they have stuck in that? What did they fire out the end of it?
Stones, and of course whatever you would have done when it came to siegecraft, maybe you would have fired, rotten bits and pieces as well over the walls. I'm sure that was something that wasn't just done in the medieval period and done back as far as the ancient world as well. Maybe even putting fire pots as well in there as well to sort of set oil alight too.
Well, I have a
At
question.
least that's what's in Total War of Rome anyway.
I have a question
Yep.
for our viewers, okay? Who was the first to come up with proper biological warfare? So in other words, taking diseased bodies and plague-ridden bodies and sticking them into catapults and
It's got to
chucking
be
them.
someone in the ancient times.
I want to know
Guaranteed.
what was the birth of biological warfare, and who came up with that. So if any of you guys know that, let me know.
I think I know.
Who?
It's probably two cavemen sitting in front of a fire. One lifts his cheek and farts at the other. Sorry.
Okay, moving swiftly past the fart jokes. Ben, who have we got next?
Next up, we've got Casarala, who's been painting up some of his Rumble Slam models. So as you can see here, he's got the scary clown called Chuck, which is very fitting considering
They're a little
Casey's
sideways.
Love
Septimus
that.
as well.
Yeah.
But he's also been painting up as well Gorgon, as you can see. And obviously, while the photos are sideways, it's very nice to have a look at some of the ways that they've been painting up the muscle definition and stuff, and the shading that's been done on the skin, which I think is very, very cool here. It seems to be a phrase I'm repeating quite a lot today. Very, very cool. But so that's because everything is very awesome. So there you go.
Right, well, here, I've got a couple of interesting ones for you. Okay, so the Greeks, Justin, used to fire snakes and rodents onto enemy ships during naval battles.
Interesting.
Okay. Genghis Khan is tipped as one of the ones to do this, as is Moses. And then finally, Fragloid says his dad. Because when he was a kid, those nights in front of the TV after a curry. So, yeah, we've all been there. The Assyrians poisoned wells in 600 BC.
Yep.
And that's my mate,
Now, hang on.
LSR
Now,
2590.
here's the thing. Poisoning a well, if it's poisoned, does it count? Would it not be like dropping dead rats and something into it to poison the well? Or is this actually pouring actual poison in the well?
I don't know. I think we have someone of authority here. Turbo Cooler says the earliest documented incident of the intention to use biological weapons is recorded in the Hittite texts of 15 to 1200 BC.
Okay.
Okay, so how many years ago was that?
3,000. If we're going for the 15,
Yeah, that's what perfectly fine. Yeah.
that would be 3,517.
When he's right, he's right.
I do numbers.
Anyway, the victims of the Tularima were driven into enemy lands, causing an epidemic. Oh, so victims of Tularima. I have no idea. Can somebody give me the symptoms of Tularima? No, don't give me the symptoms of Tularima. Can somebody describe me the symptoms of Tularima?
Yeah.
And it caused an epidemic. Although the Assyrians knew of ergot, a parasitic fungus of rye which produces ergotism when ingested, there's no evidence that they poisoned enemy wells with the with the fungus has been claimed. Do you want to know something that ergot is used for?
What?
LSD.
Really?
Yep.
How do
I'm
you know
pretty
that?
sure ergot. Well, I read it somewhere. Acid trips are made from ergot.
All right.
The siege of Constantinople was reason for plague as they slung bodies into the besieging crusaders. They may not be the first, but it was probably one of the worst.
Yeah.
Snakes on the ships was a trick that Hannibal did. And yeah, poison is more of a chemical warfare, as you pointed out. So
See?
it's something slightly different.
But if the poison is by a biological agent, it's still biological warfare then.
Yes.
Logic, it works.
Yes. Okay. Tularemia is a disease of animals and humans caused by the bacterium Francisella tyrannosus. Right. Rabbits, hares, and rodents are especially susceptible and often die in large numbers during outbreaks. Humans can become infected through several routes. Wait for it. Including, oh, that's okay, we're safe. Tick and deer fly bites,
Yeah.
skin contact with the infected animals, or ingestion of contaminated water, or inhalation of contaminated aerosols. So that's rabbit farts, Justin.
Yeah. Now he's making
Agricultural
fart gags.
dust, or laboratory exposure. So
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty nasty. Pretty nasty. It can cause pneumonia. Yuck.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now I do have one more for you here,
Wait.
and it's right.
I've got something really interesting.
Okay.
now. So you're familiar with Salem?
The
Salem
the
witch
witch
trials.
burnings. Yes.
Okay, so it was like a mass hysteria
Yes.
that took place. CTF or CT Fallen
Mm-hmm.
says he heard that some blame the Salem witch trials, the whole Salem incident, on
Yeah.
ergot.
Right. So basically, there was an outbreak, and the locals thought people are getting sick. It must be a
Yeah,
witch.
ergot can infect barley.
Yeah.
That's how we know of it over here. So barley and rye.
Okay.
And if you ingested it,
Yeah.
you started to trip, right?
Yeah, and I'm guessing depending on the dosage, if it's very small amounts, you would trip a little bit.
Yes, you could trip a little bit, or you could trip a lot of it.
Yeah.
All right. It depends on how much of it you take in.
Yeah.
You take enough of it. I don't know if you die, but I would imagine.
Probably not a good idea.
I'd imagine you could poison yourself. But isn't that quite interesting? Because another one that I heard was the 10 plagues.
Yes.
Okay. The death of the firstborn.
Yes.
Okay. That was put down to a bacterium in the grain. Okay.
Right.
And what happened was the firstborn were always fed first. Okay.
Right.
So they reckon that in bad grain or something like that,
Yeah.
there, okay, that grew at the top of the grain,
Yeah.
that they gave that fed that to the firstborn, and they died. Now I heard an even better one.
That sounds a little strange to me because as you harvest the grain, it all gets mixed.
I think I heard an even better one.
Okay.
Now, it's not biological related, but what happens is I think firstborn in Egypt also either slept on the upper bed or the lower bed. But either way, I think they slept higher than everybody else, or else
Right.
lower than everybody else. I can't remember which it was.
Yeah.
And they reckon that a mass carbon monoxide release or something like that came in.
So everybody farted at once?
No. Comes out of the likes of the River Nile. In waterbeds.
Yeah.
It happened in Africa, right? In Africa, there was this huge lake, right?
Yes.
And the lake started to bubble,
Right.
okay? And what happened is overnight, the lake released a huge amount of gas,
Right. And
an
I assume
undetectable gas.
But I assume it's lighter than air then.
No, heavier. And
If
what
it
it did,
was
it clung to the land.
Yeah.
And it covered a village and suffocated everybody in the village. Hundreds died
Oof.
overnight.
That's
People
horrible.
just walked into the village, and everybody was dead.
Ugh.
Like, can you imagine how flippin' freaky that would be?
Yeah.
You've walked into a village, and everybody is dead, and you're not dying, and everybody has just died there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's no sign of disease, no sign of struggle.
Yeah,
everybody
just
just died.
peaceful in bed.
Died in their sleep.
See, this is
Animals included. Everything.
This is something I'm coming to learn these days. I can imagine a thing, but it never ever prepares you for the reality of that. I would probably drop a brick and run a mile if I saw that.
It would be nuts, wouldn't it? It
Yeah.
would be. It would be one of those things that would just make you just would be looking at it going, does not compute.
Yeah.
Just does not
Yeah.
compute. That's a proper mind melter there.
There you go. That's one. You got
I
one.
have a mind melter for you on Sunday, but it's not as good as the one I've just done now. I'm regretting this. So,
Look, Warren, you've got some time to research. It'll be fine.
okay. One other one, while we're on all the creepy stories,
yeah.
we got to do a Halloween version of Hobby Night Live. This is going to be great. It's just creepy stories all night. Jez Hunt says, ergot poisoning was also the possible reason for werewolf sightings and St. Vitus dance, a medieval oddness. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
That
possibly.
all of our ancestors and all of that weird shit they saw,
Was probably them tripping out
was
on a
because they
medieval
were-
form of LSD.
they were
Okay.
tripping. Rye with ergot and hemp seeds used to pack out bread during the lean months.
Mm-hmm.
And oddly, huge amounts of supernatural stuff would be seen at the same time. So when the darker, colder weather came in,
Yeah, where they have to stretch it out.
pack out the bread with this stuff, and then that's the point when they're all tripping. Isn't that mad?
If that's real, someone needs to go out there and do a documentary on this, like right now.
It probably exists, but
I
isn't
need a
that
documentary on this
interesting?
right now.
Suddenly the whole
If there's any, link it to me.
But suddenly it all makes sense,
It does.
doesn't it?
It does.
Because I've often wondered, right? Obviously we have science, and all that kind of stuff now,
Yeah.
right? So I've wondered why we don't see the same shit that they saw in the past.
Because we're not eating ergot-filled bread.
This is it.
That sounds legit.
That
Actually sounds legit.
You've totally blown my mind with this.
Oh, so hang on. Our community members have melted your mind.
Yes.
That's a first.
Okay, anyway, while we've been slabbering on about ancient ghost towns or African ghost towns,
Yeah.
Wargamer Haven has based the Roman infantry on 25mm and 50mm MDF bases, and the onagers are on 50 by 50mm bases. Each use DW textured paint, and he's dry brushed.
Yeah,
and
just
all he
need to
needs to
add
do
the
is
static
add the
grass.
static. Well, thank you very much, Wargamer Haven, for bringing us back down to earth with a slap.
Well,
okay, have you got one more for us?
Last one.
Okay.
This is the one you were asking for. This is your converted undead army.
Oh God.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Oh. Have we any more?
so this-
Have we just the one picture of it, or is
I
there more?
believe
Yeah,
we do.
unfortunately, there's just one picture of it at the moment, but he has promised to put more progress pics in as the night goes on, and
All right, get
obviously
them for us,
through into
Ben.
the next week.
Oh, please do, MC1 Gamer. I want to see more of this. Oh, look
But this
at
is
that.
an undead Bretonian skeleton horde that's been done for Age of Sigmar, but it's based on the one of the kingdoms called Musilon in Bretonia in the old world from Warhammer Fantasy. If anyone's been following along with Sam's Total War series, maybe would have seen them popping up in some of the games and stuff as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this is an awesome looking army, and as you can see, this is only part of this. So this is, I think, there's 80 models in total, and this is only a small portion of it. But as you can see, there's a lot of conversion that's already gone into these, where he's used a lot of Bretonian parts with a lot of the existing skeleton parts as well to create a sort of mishmash of different styles here.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a lot of work for this, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this all looks when it's all done.
Yeah,
definitely.
MC.
Well
we
done.
we have got to get you and Lloyd together. We really do. It'd be like Zul and the Gatekeeper, man. Two of the Skelly armies. It'd be awesome. Seriously, look. Thank you very much, guys. Right, who are we going to give a prize to?
Do I get to pick this time?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm actually going to go with MC1 Gamer. That's a really, really nice conversion. I think you've earned it.
Okay, well done. Remember to come on over to bc4.com, go up to that contact menu, and claim a prize.
Yes.
Okay. We are just about done here. Somebody is now doing the jammy dance. I'm glad to hear it. Right.
Hang on. Is it the right time of the world for you to be doing your jammy dance right now?
It could be. Right. We're done in here, so it's time to pass you back out to the hobby hall.
Well, guys, that was some riveting hobby talk in there. Talking about LSD and God knows what else.
Please, I spent most of the past 15 minutes just watching Lloyd be a wizard. Just every so often just glancing over it going, how does he make it look so natural? And it angers me so much because the first time I tried to be is actually, do you know what? Can I show very quickly before you show this off?
Yeah. Oh, it's already.
Yeah, so when I did my troll, I asked Lloyd for some advice. How should I base him? And I based him brown, and then I put some leaves on him, and I put some grass and foliage and nice little designs from Army Painter, and it looked awful. And I sit here beside Lloyd now, and he's done this, and it just looks so natural.
I know. I'm doing it with super glue. I'm doing it with super glue because I want to be fast. If I have any shiny bits, what I'll do is I'll just hit it with a dusting of some anti-shine spray from Army Painter and hope for the best.
Can you spray anti-shine straight onto flock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can spray anti-shine onto just about anything, and it will not shine.
I'm not going to say it as a joke there. No, I've been really mean to Justin tonight, and I'm not going to take the low. I'm not going to take the low hanging fruit.
spray his head,
I'm
are
not
you?
going to take the low hanging fruit anymore. I need to start being nicer to Justin.
Lloyd, that is looking flipping really, really nice, man. I've got to say.
Oh man, has this guy got an eye? Yeah, he does. Oh my god.
Forgive me if I'm being. Oh, is my mic on? Is it? It is on, isn't it?
It is on, yes.
Forgive me if I'm being quiet. I'm just concentrating at this.
You're just
point.
getting excited because it's all coming together.
It is coming together. It's
You
coming
love it
together
when a
nicely.
plan comes together, man.
A plant.
When a plant comes together,
yeah.
go on, Lance.
Well done.
I'll give you a cup of tea for that one.
Someone on the website.
It's a
called my,
lot less
humor
poo demon.
rapier wit.
Isn't it? Am I on camera?
Pardon me?
Yep.
Someone on the website called my humor rapier.
Rapier.
Oh
Oh,
dear.
wow, that's a compliment.
badass.
I think.
So while we've been off camera, I've stippled it. I made myself, you may have seen it just before we went away, I made myself like a little stippling brush from a bit of packing foam.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. So I just took the flat edge and ripped it up so there's lots of little contours and stuff on it rather than it being flat.
Yep.
And then I've used a combination of colors. I started with, I think it was a leather brown, and then I worked up to a monster brown, and then I mixed a bit of monster brown and a bit of desert yellow together, and then I did a bit of dry brushing over the top, and now we've got this.
Yeah. Go. Just let it sit there in all its glory. That is kind of awesome for like an hour and a half.
I can't believe it.
Isn't that really cool?
So you can see I've put in little, we have this sort of clump foliage stuff, thanks to Jerry. He left the tub up like
Yeah.
this. So I'm pushing it in here and
Verse
there.
13 says it needs more grey, Lloyd. Just to make it feel a bit more dead, maybe.
Maybe, well, it's not necessarily dead because it's autumn time. I don't know, maybe a little bit of grey. Just to, I had thought about grey, but I'm quite pleased. If you see it in reality as we look at it, it doesn't look, it might look different on the camera than what in reality, because to me it's looking quite good in the color side of things, but maybe a little bit of grey, because then that adds to the whole dried out wood look. Maybe a little bit of grey would actually be really cool.
You just convinced yourself into
I have
that.
kind of convinced myself to maybe do a little
Subscribe
bit
to
of grey.
peer pressure, Lloyd.
Peer pressure. Anyone got a grey? There's an ash grey, but anyone got more of a creamy,
Here.
a
There's an
creamy
ash
grey?
in
Oh, the Googlia.
'Cause that's very-
over there, I think.
That's very bright grey. Has anybody got a creamy grey?
A cream
Here,
grey.
here.
A
Creamy
grey.
looking grey.
Uniform grey.
Oh, that's this isn't bad. What's this?
Filthy cape.
Filthy cape grey. Yeah. That could work. I think. Let's try a little bit. This is the bit where I screw my model up. And I'm going, no! No, why did I do it? Let's see. I'm going to sort of dry brush / stipple this, I think. Take that off. Right. A little grey. Well, this could work.
I get hypnotized when I'm watching you. I have to keep tearing myself away from watching your techniques, Lloyd, to actually do my own thing. It's the patience. It's watching you take 5 minutes to slowly sprinkle and spread it out, and just highlight those tiniest little areas that.
Different color blue, but I kind of like that.
Well, that's it.
I
I'm
keep-
just trying to hit the little... anywhere there's a big solid block of colour,
Yeah.
try to get a little bit of other colour into it so there isn't a big solid block of
Yeah.
colour. Because in reality, you very rarely you'll not find one big solid block of colour in nature anywhere. There's always differences in it, so you're trying to break up at every opportunity, at least with terrain making, solid colours. It's different when you're maybe doing characters, because man-made materials and stuff, we go out of our way
Yeah.
Paint with your eyes, not your mind.
to have, solid colours. Yeah, this could work. This grey stuff, a little bit here and there.
That is deadening it up a bit, isn't it?
I have a question for the camera whenever, Lloyd, you get a second. Or maybe I can swing around to John's camera, maybe. I'm about to make a big Bob Ross moment here. I'm about to do a hashtag ruined in a second, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure which way I want to commit. So I'm going to swing around to John's camera here, and I'm going to ask the
Okay, let
guys
me
to
borrow
vote for me.
I thought you were going to make a happy little tree.
Happy little tree.
All right, crew. Everyone in chat, if you're on the Twitch chat or you're on beastofwar.com, this is your chance to make a decision for me. The sea serpent is kind of base coated, blocked colored.
Yeah.
So we're looking okay. On the bottom, on the water, I'm going to go with blue tone.
Yeah.
Yep.
However, on the body, which is currently grey, with a little bit of blue showing through, I'm tempted to use this purple tone. and I'm just nervous because the only tone I've used so far is the strong, and I want to give this a shiny kind of glisten. I'm tempted to even put 2 tones on it and try and make it look like a slimy, slithering serpent. And I'm even thinking, here we go, now bear with me, I'm thinking of doing a purple on the serpent followed by the blue.
No.
Gonna go too dark?
Too much, yeah.
Too dark?
Go
Yeah,
too much, too dark.
Okay, so which one?
Less is more.
Less is
I
more.
would go with the purple tone.
Have you considered green for a complete?
Yeah, because the purple might be quite close to the blue.
I was going to
Okay.
say I was going to say the green for the water.
Yeah, I was going to say the green for the water too.
Oh my, well hold on. I've got a green in there, Warzan, if you each. And
Okay,
I think I've got a green. There's definitely, what's that one? The red
There's a
tip.
green tone.
So I've got a green tone. They all look the same to me.
I never thought of green tone on the water. I'm
So
not
green-
sure.
so
I don't
green
think. I'm not sure if you'll get the result you're after with the green.
Because what I was thinking about the green on the water was to do it all over, but very, very minimal on the white, and then go back in after, of course, and dry brush up the white.
Well, I wouldn't use the green on the white, but I'd use it on the blue,
Blue.
the recesses of the blue.
Okay.
On the white, use your blue tone
Mm-hmm.
because it's you're splashing up a wee bit, so you need a wee bit of blending.
Okay,
between
so
the two
If it's
colours.
going to be some sort of slimy serpent, you probably should make it pink.
So, okay, so chat, color the serpent right now, purple, blue, or green for the serpent specifically. Make a call for me, chat. I'm gonna go with whatever the chat says. That's what we're going for. You can switch this back, Lance.
Okay, right. In the meantime, Lloyd's tree inspired me, so I was looking at it and I thought it might make an awesome tree man.
Hold on, give me. Can you get any more?
No, that's it.
come
That's
on.
all I got. That's all I got.
Tremendous.
Okay, while I'm at it, I did promise that I would show this off. So let me see if I can get up close to it. If you go to the
Watch in case
Mobile
it
cam?
leaves. Oh, it's
That working?
intact. Watch, don't peel your pen.
There you go.
There I am. Okay. This was my latest charity or car boot sale thing. So this is a little Learjet type thing. Okay. Perfect for a 28mm scale. Missing the tailpiece, but now I know exactly what to do with that. I'm going to 3D print the tailpiece for it.
Oh, man.
But well, some of the cool things about it is the rear hatch opens up. So I can do things sliding in and out the back end of it, and also the top flaps open as well, so I can move minis up and down in it. So I think as a terrain piece, it's going to be absolutely awesome. So I'm thinking Spectre or something like that could be kind of cool with that. So yeah, that's me done. Okay, back to the main cam.
I'm a bit disappointed that the chat really have said blue, green, purple. You've sent my serpent into googly eye zone as well.
This is the bit I'm not sure about here. It's how the heck do I keep this clump foliage together into a fashion where I'm going to be able to stick it on the branches, because it's breaking off. I want to break it off into little bits because I want to mix the colors so it looks like the leaves of a variety of leaves. So at the minute, again for speed's sake, I've kind of just clumped some of it together, and I'm putting some super glue on it to try and tie together the little bits so the colors are mixed. And then I'm hoping that if it's particularly... Whoa, it stuck to me! No! Ah! Particularly bad looking, that it'll be the gluey bit underneath that I stick to the tree. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe I should just be sticking little lumps directly to the actual branches. Maybe that's the way to do this, to build it up.
CF Fallen, or CTF Fallen, is asking what is a car boot sale? Is it like a flea market in the US? Yeah, it's kind of like a
Garage sale?
Trunk sales.
Trunk
a bit.
sale.
Trunk sale would be
Yeah.
The boot is essentially the back of your car, and you sell whatever you can fit in it. Is probably the best description for a car boot sale.
It is.
Um,
It is.
So it's pretty much like a garage sale.
Garage.
But you go somewhere, you drive your car full of
Yeah,
stuff.
there is a dedicated area, and it's usually like at
a church.
yeah.
They've
church.
gotten a bit more fancy over the years. It used to be 20 years ago. It would just be people's car boots. They would open the boot up or the trunk up, and it would just be full of stuff, and
Yeah,
they'd stand
video
beside
tapes.
it. But now everyone brings fold-out tables. They'll bring wee picnics, and they'll sit in the boot with their little mini shop in front of you. And you see professionals at it. Like, you see people who are doing that for a living. There's usually coffee vans there. There's food vans there. Car boot sales now used to be like a wet, weary 2 hours in the morning. Now you can go to a car boot sale for 5 or 6 hours if you really want to. It's a good place to pick up a bargain. Yes, yes, it is.
As you are right, mate. You are right. It is absolutely a great place to pick up a bargain.
John, do you want to show that off?
Oh
There's
no!
not much more to show off on it.
I'm never saying Ditheo soon 77 says, "As try the green. If it doesn't work, re-base coat." It took me a long time to base coat. I'm not sure if I'm willing to be that bold. I might just leave it as it is.
Okay, Jono, how are you getting on?
I'm almost finished the silver. It has only taken me 2.5 hours so far, but I've only got the hands left to do, and then I can actually move on to another color other than silver.
Woohoo! Two colors on a Hobby Night Live.
Yeah,
You are really spoiling us.
primed and one color. So that's where I'm at.
And what about you, Justin? How are you getting on, mate?
It's coming.
I think I've completely screwed up my attempt at a glow effect.
Oh, let's see it. Let's see it.
Don't put that under there.
Oh, really? Okay.
I started trying to wet blend the paints together, and it just went brown.
It's not unrecoverable.
It takes me right back to primary school, man, when we was trying to mix up colors to make all them color charts
Or
of
when you were
primary
playing
colors.
with Play-Doh,
Everything
and it
went
just
brown.
went brown.
Yes.
I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to try another coat.
I'd let that dry, Justin, and then start working through your grayscale maybe into your blacks at the
Yeah,
at the
and then
hilt.
I'm maybe going to just do like a white highlight up the middle of it. Just like a single edge.
Yeah, because your orange and your yellows are pretty spot on, I think.
Yeah, it's just the lower part, it's just went brown, so I've been too eager. Mixing a little grey in there, it just went brown.
Shut up, Jerry. My heritage is Scottish.
Do we have any fluorescent paints?
Yeah, we have
Ooh.
one or two floating around, yeah.
Fluorescent paints?
Yeah.
Lava oranges.
Well, no, we're talking like actual.
Actual fluorescent.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
disco,
Fluorescent
disco?
paints, yeah.
We have one or two floating about, definitely. Who would put a hot blade on his neck?
Yeah, there is a Justin.
there is
that
a-
a point there.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's a blazing hot blade. Yeah, and he's got it on his neck.
It's just that tough. And that's... hang on. Wait a minute.
I do love there is logic behind this. I do love it. Is it on the
Well,
art?
you see, it'll be
Is
on
it
the picture,
art?
it will
On
be.
the art.
He's a
Oh,
masochist. He
flip
just-
me!
He is a
It
masochist too.
absolutely, it is absolutely on the art.
That does
Yeah.
not look.
Curse 13 has the answer. Someone with a really cold neck.
Get the
All right, Justin, you win. You win, mate.
Fair enough. That's us told.
I think you have to say fair enough to the guys over at Steamforged, because they painted that.
Right. Okay,
good
I'm
brush.
getting down to my last few minutes, so I'm going to try and get some ores
Pardon?
onto the thing. Some ores.
Oars.
Ores. Yes, my boat needs ores.
You mean an oar?
Yes.
Okay.
Some pedals.
So I
Some
get
paddle.
some.
Pedalo Viking boat? No.
We're going to get some ores in. If I can't stop dropping the bloody things. Okay, one more ore. Oh, flip me. Right. I'm now on an ore hunt. To see if I can find them. There's one.
Here you go. There's a few.
No. I have ores. Where did they go? Oh, I rolled over it on my seat. Right. Okay. Now to slide the ores in. Each ore has its own hole. So, do I have the ores pointing up or
What does
pointing
your
down?
orange hole look like?
What?
What does your orange hole look like?
Well, if I can get my ores hole under John's close cam, it's a very tiny ores hole, but it's right there. There's a lot of them, so it's going to take quite some filling. All right, but I'm very lucky. I have plenty of ores for the ores hole, so I will get them. I'll get them sorted out immediately.
You just play away with your arsehole.
Okay. Let's. Okay.
It's like professional people.
Okay.
People profesh.
Right, I'm done.
Good night, Lloyd.
Night,
See you
Lloyd.
later.
Bye.
If someone could actually pick up the close cam, I'll move this over and we'll get a better look at it
Yeah.
over on a table here. So as we can actually see it in a more 3D perspective.
Give me
I'm
one
mid-wash if you give me a second.
I'm
sec.
so,
I'm
I'm,
just mid-color here.
I'm so good.
I'm filling my ores holes here, so it's
I'm so grabbing a mini to go with this. Once I figure out where the heck.
Right, you get your mini.
It's actually just walking away.
Giving up.
Okay, so somebody wants to know what's the battlesuit called on Hobbycam 2.
Oh, this?
Oh, that.
Well, she's
Right.
called Vicky.
It's called Vicky, and she's lovely. She has plenty of cannons, and will burn your face. This is a Victor Colossal from Kador. This is from the War Machine range. So it's not a suit, but it is it's like a semi-autonomous war machine. Hence the name War Machine, but still, it's a very nice big machine. It's one of the larger models they have for the game.
Yeah, you were telling me about the jacks and how they're kind of like, they have kind of roughly the intelligence of dogs, but they can
yeah.
retain
They
memories.
can
and
retain memories, and I think in one of the novels I was reading, they eventually grow to have sort of basic emotions.
Yeah.
So they can be angry.
Attachment and fear. And
Well, they don't fear, but
don't fear.
They don't fear at all, no?
I don't fear.
no, they don't fear, but they get frustrated if they're built for a job that they're not doing.
Oh,
So,
that's
for example,
interesting.
on a couple of examples in the novels I was reading, it was like an ironclad warjack, which is like a close combat specialist machine, would get frustrated on a road march because it doesn't have anything to hit.
Wow.
Wait a minute, John. Can you bring your miniature over? And the guy that you were showing off earlier, the painted
Oh,
guy,
yeah,
'cause he'll
yeah,
look
yeah.
great beside this.
Oh.
My hands are a bit super gluey,
Okay, a bit super gluey.
just a bit.
I'll walk over to you then.
Dun, dun, dun.
So we're just over here off camera. If we can go to the mobile camera, please.
Dun, dun, dun,
I'll put a mini in for some perspective. Let's see if we can get in close on that. Well, what do you think? Looking good, huh?
Absolutely gorgeous.
It's not Christmas.
So how did you get it to stick in such thick clumps?
I kind of just forced it on and then dropped in a little bit of super glue and then stuck another little bit on. And hey presto. We're done. I'm pretty pleased with this. This has turned out real nice.
You know what you're going to have to do now.
Make more?
A whole autumnal table is, it can't leave a poor little tree just on its own.
Let's lift it up and see if we can get a bit more light. Over here.
Whoop.
Yes.
Dun, dun,
Let's
dun.
see.
That tree would look really good with like Bushido.
Is it going to focus? On the tree? Bring it over here. Oh. There we go. Look, there we go. There you go.
It's that dispersing of the flock on the base that makes it look so natural, and the way you've left the autumnal bits a little bit further from the trunk because they look like they're the last bits of the leaves dropping down. I love and hate you at the same time.
And the blue tack trunk has actually worked out really well.
And has it gone solid?
Yeah. Right. There's no shift in that. Oh, I'm really pleased with
I think you should be.
with that.
Yeah.
I'm pleased with myself.
How would you
I'm
seal?
definitely pleased with that.
How would you seal those clumps so as they don't fall off?
I have no idea. I guess I could put more super glue onto them and then maybe
hairspray?
try to hit them with Could I just put more super glue on them?
No, because
PVA. What am I talking about?
Yeah,
Super glue.
PVA.
Now that I've built
Soak
it,
it
I'll
in
just use
PVA.
some PVA.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to be fast. The whole reason I've used super glue all night is to be fast. Hold on. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Can we? Oh, it's my T-shirt.
Is this the first time someone's actually finished a project on
Let's throw it
Hobby
in
Night
there.
Live?
Look at
The
that.
last time Lloyd finished an entire table, which I promptly planted my hand into.
Right. Enough showing off.
Lloyd's the only person. who
Let's go
actually
back to the
finished
room,
this thing.
please.
Alright, so Lloyd, do I put that down on the table for me so I can plant my hand in it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh dear.
Okay, I'm flying through this as quick as I can because we'll be going back into Ben very shortly to get our last update on what all you guys are working on. So,
Would you like me to head in ahead of time, Warren?
yep, but
Okay.
before you do, put your stuff under camera and let's show everybody where we got to tonight.
Alright,
Well,
just let me finish
The
this
comments,
last
the
bit.
comments based on sealing it, there's a lot of things like water down the PVA, put a bit of washing up liquid in it to break the surface tension, that'll soak in.
Yep.
Someone else is talking about, where was it? Something about using alcohol to seal stuff. How does that work?
Crimson.
How do you seal stuff with alcohol?
It evaporates quite quickly if you use pure alcohol.
Yeah, but it doesn't leave anything behind is
Yeah.
the thing.
And
There's
then-
no
Yeah,
no
but if you're
adhesive.
if you're cutting the PVA down with alcohol, perhaps?
I
Can
don't
you
know.
cut PVA down with
PVA
alcohol?
and vodka?
Hairspray is an option.
That's a waste of good vodka.
I quite like hairspray, but if I spray it with hairspray, will it get shiny?
No.
No,
No?
but it'll be really well conditioned.
Mm.
So.
It will have a luster that will last for at least 24 hours.
What if
It'll
I
have the London look.
what if I just hit it
Oh,
with
you're worth it.
the army painter like mats spray? That give it a bit of tackiness. I'm just gonna put some PVA on it
Yeah,
when I
you
get
just
time.
put some PVA on it. We know
Just
that
let that
works.
soak in.
I'm about to hashtag ruined. Here we go.
Have you wrecked it?
I'm about to. I'm really
Ooh.
freaking nervous.
I get out of the way because I've been.
No,
on the
I don't
cam.
want to. Oh, I'm so nervous.
Try and clean this
Dude.
area up a little.
The worst bit right now is it's nearly the end of the whole evening, and I'm just about ready to start my second color.
I know. I know.
Oh no!
Well,
No.
look what happened to me in the Orcs the first time. I painted green all night.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna have to.
Although I will say, I've spent the night using the Games and Gears brushes. They're actually really nice.
Do you want
I'll
to
let
show
you
them
laugh.
off on the camera so we can see them?
Yeah, sure. And I'll bring my stuff into shot as well so people can see my final
Hold on.
results.
Let me just get a lid. Thank you.
Ah. Okay, getting my stuff together. There's quite a bit. This is why I should just focus on a mini. Because I don't get stuff done.
If we're down to the mini side, do you wanna zoom in on that camera a little?
Should be okay.
Just leave it wide.
Yeah, it's fine. So, the brushes I've been using were actually a little gift that the guys at Games and Gears gave us whenever we were over at Gen Con. So they are the Gen Con exclusive ones, but they're Kolinsky Sables. So it goes 0, 2, 0, and 3, 0. And they're actually really nice because you pull them apart and then just pop it together. And there's your brush. So you don't have to worry about losing the... You know the way a lot of brushes come with a little tip with them?
Yeah. It's the first thing that goes in the bin in my case.
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about putting it in the case and actually taking the tip off. Because that's the one thing I hate with paintbrushes. Whenever you lose that fine point on them, I just find after that they're a scrap brush for me. Right, so anyway, what I've worked on. So I've done some work on the furnace, trying to do some glow effects in and around the fire. I did the skin on this female character here. This character I did the skin, some work on the shield and the metal, actually doing 2 tones of metal because, well, it's blacksmiths. Most of the cloth I've been doing in different shades of grey. This guy I'm going to do with a massive white beard because he looks like an older gent. And then I've started to do some work on the actual symbology. Other than that, it is just little bits and pieces that I've been doing all the way through. So, nothing too much, but I will show them off on a weekend or whenever I eventually get them finished. Other than that, how are you getting on, As?
No! I'm halfway through
I've
ruined.
shown mine. I gotta go. I gotta get a set for the last segment.
Oh, don't know.
That's all right. I can show
Yeah.
mine.
Okay.
Okay.
Yours in there.
So let me
Right, can we
let me
change
come around.
camera?
Let me come around. Now, I'm not entirely finished, which is shameful, really. You would think in 3 hours of Hobby Night Live I would be able to finish this, but Lloyd, can
If
we
we
can
do
you
all
grab?
that,
Yeah.
yep.
So let's grab our mobile cam, and there's where I've got to so far. So this now I'm going to shave the arse of her a bit, so as it'll actually sit flush on the ground. But I've put her on our supports for the moment. But that is my Viking ship so far. The only thing I'm not sticking on is the shields because I want to put decals on all the shields. So let me point out my details, okay? So I have all my oars, and they're in the oars holes, okay? And what I've done here is I've done a Viking ship in rainy weather configuration, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a kind of like a tent out of cloth and PVA, I think, and I'm going to put that over there, which I have seen in Viking shows where they all kind of clamber in there to keep out of the rain during storms and stuff. I think that'll be really kind of cool. They probably don't leave their oars hanging out though in the rain, do they? I've maybe buggered that up a bit, but well, you know, it's my take on a
Well, not if
Viking
they
ship.
want their oars frozen.
Frozen.
If you have your oars out in the winter, they'll get frozen.
Hey,
Maybe I'm
it's in the
thinking.
rain.
Oh, I'm thinking of like North Sea. I'm immediately thinking of freezing cold weather.
No, it's the rain. It's the rain. They're taking shelter. Actually, you probably would have your oars out, because if it were in a storm, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't use the sail, but you'd be using the oars as much as possible to try and keep the boat moving
forward so you don't get caught.
keeping the boat directed into
Surely
the
you
storm.
would just
so.
pull all your oars in, because Like,
No,
if
no,
you-
because you'd be in
You
complete
have to
loss of
keep
control.
moving with the waves,
But
otherwise you'll
would
get tided and tipped over.
would you not be getting smacked around like this?
No,
Like, if you're sitting there and an oar smacks you in the head.
no, they're strong dudes. They're strong dudes. They can do it. They can do it. Right. Do you know which is the front of my boat and which is the back of my boat?
Well, the boat's the end with the oars hole.
See, now,
Back's the end with the oars
I'm
hole?
going to say that's the back.
Correct.
And that's the front.
Correct.
Because there's quite a few things give that away.
Right. What are they?
Well, we've got a little platform for guys to stand on.
Yep.
We've also got
Shouldn't it be Star
Basically a rudder.
A rudder
It's
to
a, it's
steer
a
it.
rudimentary
Not buoyant stern.
rudder.
and then
Yeah.
at the front you've got like more of a
mouth.
mouthy mast.
Yeah. So
Thought you were going to
I'm-
catch me out there, didn't
I'm
you?
quite proud of that. I'm quite proud of that. So yeah, right. You can cut back to front cam. I'm gonna go and join Justin and we find out just what it is you guys have been working on. This is my last update. I'm really looking forward to this one.
John, do you want to?
Yep, Warzone has turned into another weirdy beardy. Totally have. Totally have. Loving every second of it.
Let's see if we can show off what I've been finishing off.
I'll just abandon my seat for about the 9th time.
No,
this
no,
evening.
you can stay there.
No, no, it's fine. No, no,
No, it's fine.
no, no. You can.
Um,
No. Just you shift on over there.
Yeah.
Just you make yourself at home.
So these
That's
here
fine.
minis are obviously the Volsung ones, and I've been putting the bases on them over the night. Been doing a lot of dry brushing. Yeah, I think they turned out pretty nicely, and we've got some Hearst Arts things in there, and I think all that needs to be done is painting the rim black, because that's the final process, isn't it? Painting a rim.
Yeah, I guess so. Yep.
Well,
People are asking for you to show your stuff.
No, 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 no,
They're
no, no, no.
demanding it.
As is in the middle of ruined. It's ruined.
Ruined.
It's ruined. Yeah, okay. I haven't mastered the whole inking thing yet, at all. So look, I've just gone ham. All right, I'm not even caring about what areas are going to be highlighted, what areas are going to be dark. I'm literally just going in with the green and being pretty liberal with it, and trying to just put quite a bit on and drag it out. I kind of wanted them to be shiny, you see, and I've just been a bit bold.
I don't think you're putting enough on.
You don't think about it? See, I'm trying to get.
That's why you're not getting very much contrast.
But I'm kind of okay. You don't think I'm putting it thick enough on?
Because you're not pulling in the recesses.
See, he doesn't have a lot of recesses. He's actually pretty smooth. I'm going. Look, there you go. Look, I'm going for it now. Going for it.
Yeah, because
Otherwise you get just a uniform colour.
yeah, that'll dry up.
Get it
So you
right.
don't have to be too afraid of like.
Oh, I'm afraid,
Getting on.
Lance. I am afraid.
You just gotta go for it.
Oh,
You have to make your mistakes.
Yeah,
You have to learn.
you only learn from
Not
mistakes.
saying that
yeah.
you're
Wait,
making
see,
a
I'm gonna
mistake. I'm just saying.
do red
You
tone
learn
in
from
the
your
gums.
mistakes.
Yeah.
You need a bigger brush. Be bold and refine later. Bigger brush, guys.
Actually, you
Um,
learn best from your mistakes.
Oh, hold on.
You
What
learn from progression.
am I using? I'm using a
But you
base
learn
coating brush
best
currently.
from your
Hold on, I'll keep
mistakes.
going till-
Wise words from John and Lance over here.
I thought you were trying to quote some.
It's
Susan.
No.
no fear when applying washes. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try and take inspiration from everybody in the chat. Oh, you lads and ladies out there, and be a bit more bold.
How much you put on.
And I can always dry brush or pick it up.
Do be careful where you put it because it will stain.
Okay.
No.
I did put some blue on my white, so the white's looking pretty messy right now, but I'm going to go back over that. And I did put blue on the bottom, so I did put blue wash down here, and I think everyone was right. It really didn't pick out a lot. I think the purple would have been better. So I'll see what that looks like after dry brushing. But there you go. Shall we pass it through to the guys, and I'm going to continue on trying to trying to fix this.
Okay. I've got an interesting one for you both.
Okay.
Okay, so I was talking about the rudder on my Viking ship. It's getting late.
Freudian slip.
It's getting late. I was talking about the rudder on my Viking ship, right?
Yeah.
And did you know that it was called a steerboard? And that in Viking was starboard. And that's where starboard.
I believe him not.
That's where starboard came from. Thank you to Jez Hunt for that one.
Really?
Yep. So starboard, but in Viking, starboard. Starboard.
All right.
How cool is
The
that?
more you know.
Yeah. So
I think someone's got the hand crank
so-
in here. This
so-
doesn't
so
sound.
there we
this
go.
doesn't sound right.
yeah. Okay. Will you stop laughing at me in the comments, please? You're making me giggle now.
Live is
Oh
gold.
dear. Right.
Yarp.
Okay. Right. What were we doing?
with no
we're
drinking
on the
too.
we're on a show. Okay. Right, Ben. What the hell's going on?
So actually, before we dive into this, someone in the comments was actually wondering what's happened with Justin's Death Guard army, because obviously he was really getting to 40k and stuff, and so they were interested to find out where things were going with that, what the progress with it and stuff is. So Justin,
Yeah, Justin. Hang on. Let's get nice and close in there. Okay. Wait. We're not close enough. We're not close enough.
It's gonna
Okay,
go out fast.
Justin. Whoa. Okay, Justin.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Justin.
Would you
What's
calm down?
happening? What's happening, Justin? What's happening? Come on, Justin.
Okay,
Tell us what's happening.
Okay, god damn it. Not stop.
Okay, there we
God
go.
damn it, stop.
Whoa!
Oh god, why? Oh, this is what
Okay,
happens when Warren
okay.
does cameras.
Right.
Okay, so my Death Guard. They are actually fully built,
Yes.
not primed.
Uh-huh.
Haven't started painting them. But I have a reason. I have a reason.
Right.
I have been too goddamn busy to settle down to a bigger army
Oh, a
project.
busy jet setting around like some sort of prancy fairy all over the world and not bringing me any gifts back from fucking Gen Con. That kind of busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, honestly, things have just been absolutely nuts with me running about this last while, so I haven't been able to settle to it. I really do want to. I am also waiting for the Death Guard book to come out because I want to see what I can build before I really settle in and throw a lot of time and effort at stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to see what I'm doing, what I'm building. I mean, like the list I built was a classic Chaos list. It's not a Death Guard list. So as soon as that codex comes through the door, I need to sit down with it, work out what I'm doing, and then I'm happy to go. Also, I can't wait to lay my hands on Mortarion. Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, ugly pretty, but pretty.
Ugly pretty. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. There's your update.
Apologies.
Okay, Ben.
yeah. So first off, I've actually got something that's a little bit different. We've had trees on the show tonight, but this is some work from Lavarius, who's really getting ahead of the game when it comes to Star Wars Legion, and he was actually working on creating some really large trees for creating the Moon of Endor.
Okay,
The
whoa,
Moon of
whoa,
Endor,
whoa, whoa. Got to stop you right there.
Right, do we
Gotta
need
stop
Lloyd?
you- Lloyd!
Lord!
We cannot go any further without getting Lloyd in to see this. He has to see this. I think that there's going to be a hobby vlog about this. I think this technique is absolutely.
I've got a mic for him.
genius.
I have a mic for him.
Okay, let's get him in.
I planned for this.
Okay,
Come and see.
switch yourself off.
I think I am off.
Okay,
Am I off? I think
You're off.
okay.
Do I grab a seat?
Well, what are you going to show me that's going to be...
Ta-da!
Check
Totally
out
exciting.
this method for making trees.
Huh?
Oh, hello. This is different. What
So,
is it?
well, do you know what that looks like to me?
Looks like layered fiberboard.
Yes, this is the kind of board, Lloyd, that you get. You know, we've had some of this in
Green
the past.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we made rock hard rocks, hills out of this stuff.
Yeah, this was the one that you just did in a matte black, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was black. We were thinking of doing it as a kind of like a canyon board, so that kind of stratus, kind of layery kind of effect. But this is a great way to do trees. What an interesting!
It's
Those
nice.
trees would be indestructible.
Damn near it.
No, not damn near it.
It depends what you coach them with.
I could kill a dwarf with those trees.
The thing is...
Seriously,
if
Does
slap
this-
him on
does that count as a mace?
Slap him on his little head.
If that's the fiber material that we're thinking of, normally you put it like under floors when you're going to
Yeah.
put like laminate floors and things like that down.
Yeah.
What happens is if you put PVA on it, like you'll put one first layer down, and it'll just go and it'll suck into it, and it'll be squidgy and wibbly wobbly. Right? You do it again, and it'll suck it in, and it'll be less squidgy, and I do it like a
just keep going?
third time. Suddenly it becomes rock hard because
like
it's hit
stone.
saturation
Right.
point.
It's like
But
stone.
I don't think that's what's being done here. This doesn't look like it's had that treatment.
Yeah, well, not yet. But if I were doing it, I would give it that treatment.
But would that not give it like a rock-like texture on it?
Not necessarily, because you could also run when it's wet, you run a wire brush around the outside of it a little bit, and that would fluff it all up. But
Well, what if you did
forget
it and then
about
put flock around the
a
outside of it?
style. No, it wouldn't. Even, well, you could flock it.
It'll rip
That
it
could give
apart.
you...
a wire brush, it would just lumps of it would just fall off if it was wet.
Well then, I probably wouldn't do that because I think it would look great even just as stylized trees.
To me, if I was trying to make chibi-looking trees or video gamey-looking trees, this might actually be a really cool method to do.
Is this sort of circa 1990s?
Because I was thinking of trying to do it with sponge, right? Because you know I've done a lot of things with sponge recently.
You love your sponge, Lloyd.
I wonder if I can make trees with sponge, but it turned out to be really difficult. And I sort of abandoned the idea because I was looking at the sponge and I couldn't visualize what I was doing. Really, I might come back to it at some other point, but you know, that method could work.
Well, the way that I
I'm
saw
not
this
sure how durable.
was...
Oh, I don't have a.
So Ben, Lloyd can't hear you. So Ben is talking. Lloyd, shut up. Go ahead, Ben.
The way I'd seen these coming together was really nice because it almost looked like a little bit like an ancient forest that has maybe been taken over during the years by all sort of the undergrowth and stuff, sort of creeping its way up the trees and taking root in everything. But it also kind of reminded me as you could almost use this to create almost like a swampy world, like Dagobah as well. Yeah. So yeah, it's got a couple of interesting uses for this, and it's a very interesting technique, I think. So yeah.
Sorry, I just had a brainwave.
Wow, we've got to see that up close.
I have a brainwave. No. So. Right, what if you took... Now, this is probably a really stupid idea. Take pasta.
Wait, pasta. Love it.
Wait. Let's just savor that moment, right? He hasn't said it yet, right? He says it's probably a really stupid idea. Okay, you know this is only going to go one of two ways. Okay.
No, Ben was saying about jungles, right?
Yeah.
Take some pasta, spaghetti pasta.
Yeah, spaghetti pasta.
Soak it up. Let it cool down.
Soak it up in what?
Water.
Water, okay.
Let it drape down over that, let it dry out, and then coat that with PVA. Would that not give you some nice jungle vines and glue little leaves to?
If you put PVA in the water...
Would that work?
It might start to harden up, but it's going to be really brittle.
But would a spaghetti, after you've soaked it with water, hard on the way you want it to?
Well, it would dry out.
Yeah. And of all the hobby materials that you can think of, right?
Yeah, pasta.
Wet spaghetti is how you're going to do it. Like you wouldn't use green stuff. You wouldn't use Lloyd's method of like blue tack and then cover it with super glue and stuff. You know, it's like
you would get a consistent looking vine.
Why? It would be very consistent. You're right.
I'm sorry. This is probably a stupid idea.
No, it's not. No, it's priceless, man.
I just don't know if it would. Do you know the way pasta is?
And everyone's just going, why not use string?
Yep.
Yeah.
String.
String.
Yep.
Because you know that's not going to be brittle when it dries.
Yeah. Sorry.
No,
I've had a brain fart.
No, spaghetti.
That's a brain fart.
No, it's not. It's not. Do you know what? We're going to do it, man. We're going to do it. We're going to get some spaghetti, and we're going to do an experiment on spaghetti to see can you dehydrate hydrated spaghetti. Will it go hard again?
But is it going to be tagliatelle?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
So actual
not tagliatelle.
Spaghetti. Okay, not seashells or anything like that.
No.
Little pasta bows.
Taoist says, wouldn't it smell after a while?
I don't think
not
it
if you coat it in PVA. Would that not seal it?
Would that seal the smell in? Yeah.
I think it would. I don't think it would smell.
What if you caught ergot from it, Justin? Right, let's move on. Lavarius, I love that idea. Really love that. Okay, Ben, who's next?
So next up, we've got Dave Taylor, who's painting up the multi-headed cow from This Is Not a Test by World End Publishing. He's actually hoping to get this finished tonight so he can give it to the author of the game, Joe Maguire, tomorrow for his birthday. So wish him all the best as it comes to painting up the rest of this
well, we are
strange
past
mutant
midnight,
cow.
So, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Joey. Happy birthday.
birthday.
Well done, Dave. Dave, that's looking really sweet, isn't it? Dave is an incredible speed painter.
Yeah.
Because we've watched Dave at work here in the studio actually, where he painted up an entire unit of Technis in about 20 minutes. It was a wonder to behold, really. So okay, brilliant.
I want to stress he was really fast.
He was really
and the results were great.
Yeah.
Looking at the whoa. The whoa! How did you do that so fast? He just did this.
Moment of goddamn that man and his talent.
Okay, who else have we got?
Next up, we've got Bop3635, who's back on the Chaos Space Marines, and he's actually painting up the Alpha Legion. So he's been working his way through the silver trim, as you can see here, and he's also wanted some tips on how to get stuck into this and what you might suggest for him to go next with this scheme for the Alpha Legion, and of course how you might do horns and sort of like this strange bone style as well. So
lovely stuff.
Interesting.
Lovely. Yep. Okay, and who's next?
Next up, we have
Oh yes.
Oh, my Hobby Night Live has been made. Oh.
Wow. Just wow. Well played. Go that man. You know, good on that man. Bring it up big, Warren. Bring it up big. Come on. It needs to be big. Come on, bring it up big.
Oh, he broke me.
Bring it up big.
Completely broke me.
Make it big, Warren.
Glorious. It's magnificent. It's wonderful.
You, sir, you have won. The Army Painter voucher is totally going to you. You've won all the fucking Army Painter vouchers.
Melvazord. Are we giving?
Oh, this is great. Oh, God.
Community nurse takes care of the team too.
Oh, okay.
Is it just the one of it? No, there's more.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So this is Melvazord, who's been painting up this mushroom village for use in boroughs and badges, and this was actually based on some garden ornaments that he got from Wilco for about £5 each, which isn't too bad.
Best
Good
£5
spot.
ever spent.
Hey, look
Well
at
done,
that.
that man.
See, it's working really nicely to create some interesting forest houses and stuff for your creatures.
Oh, God,
Yeah,
I love
the chat is saying Slanesh is smiling.
I love it.
Is that scratch build you broke for him?
What are
Perfect
they?
for no mores.
What are they made out of? Is
It's
it?
garden ornaments.
It looks like cement.
Ah.
Garden ornaments. It'd be a cure summit. Well played, sir. Congratulations.
Oh, that's too much for me. Okay, please.
Okay,
You guys go on.
he's corpsing. He's giving up.
So no, they're a bit reminiscent of homunculi as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, lateral thinking.
Expecting that. Oh, God.
What? Why am I hearing singing Smurfs?
Okay.
No.
I'm good. Somebody move on. Move on. Hurry up.
All right. Well, you've won anyway, mate.
Yeah, basically. But next up, we have...
Okay, stop. You're gonna get me going. Oh God. Okay, next up, who do we have, Ben?
Next up, we have Suetonius Paulinus, who we all know is an amazing painter, and he's actually
Yeah.
painting up some of his modern warfare troops. The SAS here you can see from Empress Miniatures, and as you can see, they're looking absolutely awesome here, with some really cool camo effects going across them, as well as a little bit of the urban style to them as well, which is really nice. And of course, he's also done a really good job on the basing as well, which is always really cool to see from Suetonius Paulinus.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
I can't do this anymore. You do it.
Okay, this is a first.
Oh
The community has broken Warren. Warren.exe has failed to load. Please contact your service administrator immediately.
Oh my days.
Okay, what was that thing that was in the wheat? I think Warren may have got into some of that.
Yeah.
How are you, Ben? I haven't spoke to you all night.
I'm good, thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Nance.
Have
Alright,
we,
so,
have we complimented Ben on his sharp haircut?
We have
have
mentioned
earlier.
it multiple times. Okay, so Suetonius Paulinus, absolutely beautiful piece of work. I love the camouflage. It's got a real nice, real world feel to it. Even right down to the details in the base where you've got little half bricks poking up out of it.
Let's just comment on the stylistic photos too.
Yeah.
You always do such amazing photos. It's not enough to make amazing models and paint them and stuff.
Yeah.
You always do amazing photos too.
Yeah, well
With-
played.
Exactly.
With Andy's photographs, you always know it's his.
Yeah.
As well, because he always has the same kind of style. I really like.
Although, do you want to know what I want to
photographs
see? I want to see underneath that base. I want to see if he has named them. Because the army that he sent to us,
Yeah,
was
he
in World War
named
II
all
German,
of them,
he
yeah.
named every guy. I want to know what this guy's name is. Andy, if you're in the comments, come on, get in, mate. Okay, Lance, if you want to press net 2 there, we'll call up our next one. Who's this, Ben?
So the next one is from Silver Fox 8, and this was one that's a little bit close to my heart. So this is him creating his own version of Helm's Deep, and he's not only going for the fortress that you
going
can
on?
see there in the
Net
deep
2.
wall. Oh, are we okay?
Wrong, red one. There we go. We got it now.
There we go. Okay,
and
so yeah.
Can't get the staff these days.
And it's net 1, Justin. Net 1.
It's actually in the net 2 slot. Is it alive? Does it return?
Are we all good?
We're good. We're good. Keep going, Ben.
Okay, right. Yes. So yes, he's creating Helm's Deep, as you can
Lovely.
see here. He's built the fortress, as you can see, with also the deepening wall. He's also getting out a little bit of foam as well, because he wants to try and build some of the rock face stuff that is effectively around the outside of Helm's Deep. And as you can see, he's even got the cavern section as well, which is stuck towards the back, based on the Thormrillion Dwarf Tomb, I think it is. His ultimate aim is to try and win himself a Hobby Gold bag, so hopefully, as the weeks or so go by, maybe he'll be in with a chance, as we see that the progress is continuing, as you can see here, which is looking very nice indeed. So yes, I would love to see how this comes together, because I do like myself a little bit of Lord of the Rings on the tabletop.
I can't
Very
wait.
nicely
I
done.
can't wait to see that, because
let me just reiterate. Ben, you love Lord of the Rings. I agree with you in last week's Weekender as well. I never got to say my point. I think Lord of the Rings is the best fantasy genre out there as well.
But
I'm sorry, we can't be friends anymore.
I'm excited to see it, because like that's a hell of a project you're biting off there.
Yeah, we have a challenger.
And then just the epic scale of it, especially if you've enough minis to fill that. Oh, and doing battle scene.
Like,
oh man,
the amount of minis just going up the bridge of Helm's Deep is unfathomable.
Anyway, and the best fantasy thing is Willow.
Willow?
Yes.
See, I haven't seen Willow.
You've never seen Willow?
No.
Oh my
goodness. You're gonna have to show me Willow. Introduce me to Willow.
It's not good.
What do you mean it's not good?
Sorry guys, I'm just looking at the comments here. There's one from Fullhammer in. It was a sad day. A dark day. The day Warren fell.
Sorry. Do we have any more?
Yes, we have a couple more. So next up, who do we have, Ben?
So next up, we've got a little bit of a lurker on the website who's come out to share some of his projects during Hobby Night Live. And this is Keith here, showing off his version of a Zench Demon Prince, which I thought was very interesting. So he's gone for a little bit more of a darker tone than you potentially have normally seen for the likes of Zench. But I think it's really impressive what he's come across with. And the sword looks absolutely amazing for this. I really like that sort of twisted, almost strange, demonic sword that has a little bit of the kind of Geiger about it, which I thought was really nice. But yes, a cool little interesting project there. And very nice to see if anything more is done to this in terms of the wings and some of the metallics as well at the same time.
Very cool.
Nice to see you posting on the site, mate. That looks good to me.
Yeah. Well, welcome to poking your head above the parapet. Nice piece.
Yeah.
Have we given all our vouchers away?
We have one more to give away.
All right. Okay, one more to give away.
Okay, so we have one more to show off here, which is really nice. Who do we have, Ben?
So finally, we have Maladrak, who is showing off one of the creatures from the Reaper Bones Kickstarter, and this is the amazing-looking Graveyard Golem, as you can see here. But also a few bits and pieces of scatter terrain as well, including Gelatinous Cube as well, which is pretty cool. But yes, I really like the colours that have gone into that Gelatinous Cube. It's very interesting. It's almost got a little bit of a prismatic effect to it.
Yeah, it's a little Technicolor.
I love it. I love it. I love these mushroomy-looking things too. More mushrooms. Damn, I should have made mushrooms tonight.
That's your next project. That's your next project.
If you can hear it in the background.
So hang on, we have directional mics. Point your mics forward, gents.
Stop breaking out there. Stop dying out there.
Now you know the project for next Hobby Night Live.
Yeah, little mushrooms. Little tiny ones to go around my tree base.
We would have a show.
Mushrooms. Make all of them.
Oh, man.
Would you like
as you can see, that Graveyard Golem's looking absolutely amazing. I really like it when people do something with something that's basically as standard as stone.
I've composed myself.
Just about.
Right, have we anything more?
I think,
no, because we already picked our winner for this one.
Yes. Okay, yep.
And as the song says, one more time.
Okay. Come on!
Here's our winner.
Oh god, it's so good! It's so good! Okay, right, enough.
No, I'm sorry, but
I can't get it in.
Melvazard, thank you, my friend. You have given me the ultimate defense against Warren. I'm going to print this, keep it in my back pocket, and if I ever need to quiet Warren down again, I'm just gonna whip that out.
Right, okay, you're going to whip it out. You're brilliant. Right.
Do we have one more voucher to give away? Or
no,
that's us. That's
all
us.
done.
He won it.
Okay.
He won it.
Okay.
Just for that, he won it.
Right, okay, I'm just going to have to hold it in here. Right,
right, we're done.
Look, we are done. There's a massive thank you to all you guys that watched tonight. I was totally calm when I came in again. A massive
Come on, you fool!
A massive thank you to all you guys tuned in tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure to be with you. What does that say? Hosting what? All right, yes, we are going to host someone else. So Lance has this newfangled idea that once we close down,
Yeah.
if you want to stick around, we'll be hosting another Twitch live streamer.
Yeah.
On the site for a little while. I think because we also want to get the pre-recorded version or the recorded version of this up.
Yeah.
Anyway, myself, you as him, will be joining you tomorrow morning and Sunday morning.
Yes.
To spend some weekender time with you. Other than that, look, it's been a blast. It's been an absolute blast. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you again over the weekend, and we'll see you next week. And we'll get ready for another Hobby Night Live soon enough.
Ta-ra!
Bye.
Bye.
And we can't click the outro. It doesn't work. So I have to do it over.
No! Quickly switch to my sea serpent.
The outro doesn't work on the keyboard.
I'll be dry brushing here for the next.